FaZe inside the point, though, getting some good time.
And you'll take that as well. The way this hill started, the fact that Atlanta FaZe have been able to get anything, going to be able to cut your losses. And on the rotation, interesting spawns rolling through. I mean, Celium just spawns up over towards New and expected, but maybe not for Kismet. He was playing for a couple rotators, but ended up just spawning behind. So a mixy moment and an important rotation. Atlanta FaZe have the edge, but it's going to be a couple subliners players that got to keep it bay.
Beastie had the information there, pushes all the way through Coop, and all of a sudden Kismet is there just to pick up the pieces. He's just been lingering around this side.
Oh my god, huge kill by
Far
Hydra.
too easy, if anything. New York subliners just run through FaZe. Communication maybe not quite there. As mentioned, the Beastie just walked past one of the players who'd just been stunned previously, and then Kismet just then walks into the point and finds it. Not plays you expect from FaZe.
Yeah, Kismet hiding and junk the entire time. I just think they were not expecting the pressure to be that quick. They were thinking it was going to be coming from the Coop side of things, but not just that. Hydra was able to give you two, so Atlanta FaZe forced in a breaking position once again. Simp makes it to the back, and Simp gun skies and Kismet. Simp gave you some extra tags, but you couldn't win the gunfight. And Atlanta FaZe just playing a very difficult game of Call of Duty, but they're making it hard on themselves, still coming out on top.
Rotation over towards New and coming in just a second. Don't think I'll matter too much in terms of what points are going to go down, but FaZe on going to be there second. Pressure coming in over towards the old hill, not going to matter for much. Hydra now trying to find some more kills, as he so often does. Had a hell of a start at 12 and 5. And yet still, FaZe find themselves in the lead as we head over towards P4.
And you, dude, look at the route, by the way, Simp just took. He like off spawn, spawned at P2, ran through junk, potentially just to flip these spawns, and he's gonna get him. So this is typically a hill that you're gonna see a lot of.
Oh my god, Kismet!
Take the extra investment, maybe give away some of it just to get the spawns, but on a hill that can often be uncontested, Kismet right now, the collection, man, and Atlanta FaZe players starting to spawn out. So you take a route like that, and subliners might be able to just punish you.
Hydra over towards New. It's going to be huge. 15 seconds were up on offer there for the side of New York subliners. They will not get the ticket. Scrap time kill comes on through for FaZe, and the big kills coming on over towards New here as well. Good job on FaZe. Find themselves only 10 points behind us. So considering how this one's been going, and considering the fact that Hydra is having another big game, can they continue to soak up some time? Really good positioning here. New York subliners have got a lot of people to pick their way through.
Yeah, this has been a map that's unpredictable as well. Neither team can hold. Spawns getting flipped all over these places. These guys continuously just battling. Draza doing a nice job on to sort of lock down the flank, but his teammates cannot handle the pressure through the front. New York subliners getting it done. They just walk straight through red as they're going to take the lead. Another lead exchange in this game. Draza on a 5, desperate for kill number 6, and not going to get it. Simp there to get him one shot, or maybe he can. Absurdity. Draza provides again, the bailout player for Atlanta.
Haymaker after haymaker between these two squads. Subliners finding themselves well in the lead momentarily, but now it's FaZe soaking up that time. 10 seconds or so is going to be theirs from the scrap at the end of a crazy rotation of hills here on Karachi. Both these two teams just so evenly matched. But it will be FaZe with the lead heading into the second rotation, and Draza here with a cruise missile just wants to get it in. Let's continue this on. Get rid of Kiz, and another. The buff cruise missile working out wonderfully. And all of a sudden a third on the board as well. Draza, hey, might break his kill record 2 maps in a row.
No, there's no chance, right? Certainly not, but 16 kills. He's continuing to feast, and in the meantime, Celium 3 and 11. No production coming out of him, but you still got a little bit of lead. If his gun starts to get hot, Atlanta FaZe might be in a sweet position, but for the moment, even off the cruise missile, New York subliners able to just battle back in and try to get to that time, but you're gonna have to fight tooth and nail for it. This is a wonderful 20 seconds to get. That's not scrap time, that's good time. Subliners might be able to take a lead on this rotation, but Atlanta FaZe staying active, keeping the pressure on the map. They don't want to give away the scrap for free.
Oh, they have done. 6 seconds, going to go over towards FaZe, and the spawns alongside of it. Been there for quite some time.
Oh my god, Kismet is shooting.
Kismet comes in. Every time we're in the POV of Kismet, the guy's just snapping. Hydra finds one in mid-map as well. Simp is going to be ready and waiting for this. FaZe will slow down subliners. 50 seconds to play for here at P2. The first big opportunity for FaZe to establish a good lead.
They've been running like crazy as well, but now just 2 players sort of staving off the pressure, but all those nades landing at Sip's feet. Gonna slow you down, but Skies gets an entry, and now it's just overwhelming. There's the break you needed on P2. Simp maybe trying to give you a little bit extra, but he gets traded out as well. And now you got Atlanta FaZe spawning on the deep left side of the map. And I mean, they're going to have to take routes. They're going to have to chalk up all this time potentially and try to win the rotation. Or maybe again, you're going to have to fight for scrap. Yeah, Atlanta FaZe is going to do everything at once. And just like the movie, they're trying to win some awards, get the extra bit of scrap time. Atlanta FaZe, they do everything on this map.
This guy's towards the back. It could be the tip of the spear for New York Subliners to try and find a break. Being patient, taking his time. Spawn out for Subliners was a cruel one. With some huge kills coming in for the side of Atlanta FaZe. The break now starting to fall into position. They didn't expect him back here, but you gotta hit the shots. Everybody else does though from Subliners. The break comes in, but Simp and Co. very, very close. Hydra finds 2. The break comes in for Subliners.
And now this could be Hydra's time to shine. Has 20 kills, by the way, leading the lobby as is predicted. And again, just the peppering, man. The stuns and nades out of control, always coordinated and no room to breathe. But Sky's able to pick up 2 on the cross. Sib gets the next one, and final man in line is Celium. Food for fodder for Sib. 4-man push stuffed, and again, a battle for scrap time. Maybe the teammate is not going to help things out, but Subliners, another lead exchange. The game flow for this one is going to be out of control.
10 seconds to go. The scrap time is going to be fought over. You mentioned before we jumped into it, Chance, you said a 250 to 240 feels just right. And the map number 5 could be beckoning as well. If FaZe can still continue to get things going. Find themselves in the slenderest of leads, but Skies, everybody's stepping up when needed. Salim's really the only one who hasn't been flying, but we know there's more than enough time for that to change. The young kid himself, and that's some good shots coming through on the Sib. The pressure starting to come in here from FaZe. Can they manage to find a break over towards P4? Some time on off air if they can do.
And this is back to the sort of white time special. We talked about the route, that Sim took early on. Well, Sib's going to be doing exactly that. So they don't want to play for the spawns, but Abeezy's there to pick it up. Atlanta FaZe is going to be potentially getting this time as well. It trades around the zone. Abeezy wins a massive gunfight on the rotation, and now Sim's winning the big gunfights in the hill. Remember when I said Hydra leading the lobby at 20 kills? Where there it's Sim's time to shine, already at 26. And I think he might have just gotten the cruise missile as well.
I think he might have heard you. Said he needed to step up. He absolutely has done. Abeezy now starting to tear 2. Rotation is here for the side of Atlanta FaZe. The scrap time is not there for Subliners, but we have a tie game. Heading over now towards P5. Draza trying to lock this one down. Everybody else keeping an eye on the flanks. That's inevitably coming through, but it's going to have to be the front door for the New York Subliners. They get cut down before they even get there. I say that. Hydra will find one. Sim will not be good for anything, but he will try to just distract, but he cannot. The pressure from FaZe unrelenting once again, but it's a 7-point game. 35 seconds to go here over on this hill.
And the question is, how much time can you actually get? Draza and Celium not hopping on it just yet. Celium slides on over to begin the collection in a 4-man stack just through the front. Abeezy falling from the skies. Him and Draza able to give you 2. Final 2 players right now for New York, and they're not going to be able to get much done. Wow. Domination on the Junkyard Hill and a 5 spree for Abeezy. Too easy for him as you got a 30-point lead. Maybe the biggest Atlanta FaZe have had the entire map of Karachi.
Oh, that is maybe what will win them the game. That was such a wonderful hold. Subliners threw caution to the wind with a big hit that just came through the front door, and they will find 3 kills on the rip. The problem is there is cruise missiles to work with. That may well be a 4 down, and it may well be good news for Subliners. And it may well just be the fact that investment has to come from the side of FaZe. Here it comes from Sim. Cruise missile in that will force them off. What can they do with it? Sim will find one on the Celium in the meantime. You will minimum get 1 here if you're Simp. It's still a decent amount of map control, but it's allowed Draza to find the flank.
And that's an important one as well. Draza gets the kill, does get traded, but you're just looking to keep things active over towards P1. Sid from up the top, well, gets traded, but gets a player out of time, and it is just a slugfest still around this zone. You had Atlanta FaZe on the P1. They fought for 20 seconds to scrap and forced the spawns towards the back, and New York Subliners thinking about squaring up and doing it once again, but they traded away a decent bit of the time, but they do get the kills. Atlanta FaZe is going to be spawning so far away.
Sims put himself in a position. They are hunting him down. 2, 3, 4 for Atlanta FaZe as we head over towards New P2 now locked in for Subliners. They can win it here. So can FaZe, of course. Kills starting to flow on through. Maybe a little bit 1 by 1 from FaZe. They can take their time here, but not too much of it. Spawn at the back. Spawn at the back. It was Draza over towards the backside. He finds Sib. All of a sudden, Subliners have a few more problems to deal with, but deal with them they have. 220 and rising. They're 25 seconds away here, Chance.
And I don't know if they're going to read the spawns, but it's going to be everybody in the back. Hydra, gun up, ready for it. Over the dumpster, Kismet killed. And they're taking routes. It's not all the dumpster. They're trying to go through the mid-cut as well. Atlanta FaZe, this is your last shot.
You gotta go. Sublime is about to break 240. The gunfight that you just don't see him win often. Draza finds on the Hydra, and here comes the pressure now coming in from FaZe. Absolute phenomenal plays from Skies to slow this down. And FaZe
Oh my god, they might have done it. I think they
the
fucking done
rotation
it.
coming in. Subliners are
I
still
think they did
getting
it.
behind. Atlanta FaZe will be a 2-4-5. Sip eviscerates Hydra. Everybody from FaZe has gotta go now.
And out, well, Simp, the cutoff man. Simp leading the team. Draza flooding on in. First kill gonna fall. Next man in line, Kismet only gives you one. Cell shows up in the feed as well. And Atlanta FaZe might do enough to get it done.
5 seconds away. You gotta go now. Just Subliners. You're jumping on for top. It's
Jesus
not gonna
fucking
happen.
Christ.
And game 5 was inevitable as FaZe are. We head there shortly, but Subliners in prime position get broken down. The rotation is there, and they get cut through like a knife through butter. Atlanta FaZe find a way to send us to that map number 5. What a series this has been.
Competitive Call of Duty fans, today we eat a game 5 between two teams playing at their very best. The Call of Duty is bonkers. These guys are playing out of control and everybody getting involved. Simp more or less got slammed in the control. Not quite double negative, but he was very much on the back foot. How does he respond? 33 and 20, starts to pop off 5,700 damage and the most time on his team. Mr. Do-It-All there on Karachi, but efficient work through and through. Draza also consistently making the heads up, high IQ plays, timing out the flanks, getting his team the spawns, maybe with a little bit of luck on his side, but taking full advantage of it along the way. And I mean, New York Subliners, it is mixy moments towards the end, but here's a look at the game flow. Good luck trying to count the number of lead exchanges, at least 4 or 5 in the mix, but literally never more than a 30-point gap between these two teams until the bitter end. Atlanta FaZe cranking up the heat literally at the end of the second set of rotations. One good full 60 was enough to separate them. That Junkyard Hill quite literally ends up winning them the game.
What a series this has been. Going toe to toe with the best teams in the game. New York Subliners have very much put themselves in that conversation. Whatever happens on 6-star, but a win, that would be something if they can manage to find out what a game this has been. I think everybody needs a minute before we head into what will be a 6-star Search and Destroy to close out this series. We're going to go for a quick break on the other side. Let's catch map number 5.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
The Champs Tracer Pack is available now. The bundle includes a Reaper Operator skin, Ripper Weapon Blueprint, Death Stare Weapon Blueprint, Cuts Deep Charm, 2 calling cards, 2 emblems, and 2 weapon stickers. Use these items in both Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty Warzone. Available in store now using Call of Duty points.
all roads have led to a map number 5 between Subliners and FaZe. It has been an incredible series. I hope you at home have enjoyed it. We have an absolute blast. The players probably a little bit more stressed than we are, but what a game this has been. Map number 5, we got chance.
And look, the only thing we were truly looking for in this series is for New York to be competitive against a top 4 squad. They've answered that. These two teams have been playing wickedly good Call of Duty. Simpin Map 5s has been on point throughout this year with 1.3 KD. But as far as I'm concerned, Subliners, they've answered the question. So who cares about hot takes? Who cares about anything? This is the appetizer for the main course of the final 2 tournaments. Put your feet up, get a drink, and just enjoy this map 5. These two teams have been putting on a show.
I wish I could put my feet up and just watch it, but man, what a game it's been. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast. Let's see how it's going to go down anyway. Over towards A by the looks of things for the side of Subliners. They're busy on the cross. These were the neutral setup on this side of the map, vibing away to the music, but nothing happening over towards B side. They know that. They will back on up. Subliners still plotting their move.
And BZ does find the timing to get an aggressive position just in time to explode. Perfectly coordinated nades, first blood, and is going to be the bomb down as well. 4v3 advantage, and Subliners not even go for the bomb plant. They're playing for the kills first. They do not want to make any mistakes.
Bomb planter going into action is going to make it a 3v3 momentarily. The nades will warn him off and give FaZe time to set themselves up here. Still may well be at a disadvantage in numbers, but you know for a fact, you offer them an opening, they will find it. There you go. Kismet will get taken down. 2 players on the flank. Simpin Draza will dip out, reassess. 3 versus 3. Subliners will find their way out though. FaZe still plotting.
They might just go right into pre-aim. Hydra reaction time on point. Gun Simpin. One flanker down, you do get traded, but now for Atlanta FaZe, running out of time. Another trade rolling through. 1v1 Celium versus Skies. And Cell's got to defuse the bomb. Surely this doesn't work.
You never know. I always love the early defuse, and Celium went for it. 1v1 against Skies. They were always a little bit difficult from the position he was in. Sees the top of his head. Shots to the bomb.
I tell you, by the way, I have not trusted Celium in the clutch this year. He's had some like weird moments, even on 6-star specifically. Don't get me wrong, man's a menace, one of the best S&D players in the world, but a lot of times the rounds sort of end with a moment like that where Skies is worried about a child, a little bit of trouble, and just goes, oh, I'll just kill you for free. So Cell not able to clutch that 1v2, and a nice round for Subliners executing after the first blood.
A lot of presence over towards A. Kismet on course to break the record if he can have a hell of a game here in map number 5. One round has started off pretty well for Subliners. The BZ Draza getting aggressive, but this is mixy. Everybody's in around the point. Which way are these Conquer Bites going to go? Draza, Celium combining well. Hydra was there and good for 1, but Celium finds another. Skies now in a 1 versus 3.
My type of map and mode on God, Freddy.
Get it done.
This screams Freddy.
There to set up for the
or
kill.
Beans, you know, whichever
so
one,
might
but it screams.
criticize him for some moments in the clutch, but again, S&D monster. Him and Draza on point and good recognition. Sid was working that sort of like underground route for the flank, but Cell had that completely under lock and key. No funny business there, and another well-executed offensive round.
That was a typical Max Holloway style point to the floor and swing between both these two teams. Hellish gunfights all over the site over towards A. Mixy as you like, but works out in FaZe's favor this time. Tied up, rounds back and forth. Nervy game so far. Again, a lot of pressure coming in over towards A, but Kismet, that's the reason that he could potentially be breaking the kill record for his series. Firing like that, can't quite find the shots on the Celium, when all of a sudden Skies is left on his own again. 3 and 1. Do well to improve that to 6 to find the round here. He falls. Atlanta FaZe 2 very quick back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, and instant fist bumps and locked back in. Talking about the next round as well. Great communication, by the way. Kismet got the sort of like first kill. He was left 1 shot. Abizi slides in for the trade. There's actually a different Subliners player that basically ate the bullets for him. Someone on FaZe recognized it. Nope, that was not the guy we were looking for. And Draza or Celium, whichever one it was, came swinging in for the extra kill. So Heads up gameplay, and again, lightning fast round. Atlanta FaZe taking them to task, and Cell 5-1 to start this game.
I wonder if we see any change up from Subliners to just headbutting over towards it, because it hasn't worked out so far. Attack or defense. I mean, again, it's going to be Mixy in the middle of the map. A BZ grenade out. That may well start to coordinate a push over towards A. They find a free route through. Sib over towards the backside. Nade incoming. Pressure. Not quite exerted. May as well back up. Subliners want nothing to do with this Mixy little site. At this moment in time, they're going to go for the retake. It's 4 versus 4.
That's a deep plant spot as well. Abizi, eyes on 3. Everyone coming through the smoke. It is a flood. Everybody out.
Draza, what can he do through the smoke? Absolutely nothing. Subliners find 3. And selling him on a 4 spree, going to make it a 5. Now will surely just play for his life here. That bomb is going to get defused. They are just going to hold tight. You don't want to give Cell the 6th. And Subliners, a ridiculous retake.
Able to get it done, and I mean that is the sort of, I mean that's like the Challenger special when the map first came out. Throw the smoke and get out in the mix. Terrifying moments, but you saw how quick all 3 players from New York that were getting out and about were, and the 4th follow-up was there as well, just storming through. And that is very much, we have a game plan for any given situation. We're going to execute it to a T. Basically playing TDM right now on this map of S&D is Celium. Looking for the cruise missile, has a battle potentially against Hydra for it, but primary action towards the middle of the map. Draws in a Beezy. Maybe waiting to see if they can catch a New York Subliners player slipping through, or maybe you just get gone, Sib, for the first blood.
Deletes Draza. Gives New York Subliners an advantage that I don't think they've had for a while to kick things off when a round does start. Beezy evens the odds though. What's this play now from Subliners? They may well overextend all the way through the spawn. Did they read it? Yes, they did. Beezy was there, but doesn't get cleaned up. Skies, they know exactly where he is, but Sib will find his 2nd kill of the round. Skies has got 0 help, and they hunt him down. 1v2 for Sib.
And ideally, I don't know if they're going to recognize... No, they know they have bomb down. You want to give Celium this kill if possible for Atlanta FaZe. Sib, delicate moment here in this 1v2.
I was wondering for a second whether or not he would even try for it, but he is going to go for it. Here we go around the corner. We'll find Simp. We'll dip out. Celium chasing him down. There's number 6. Atlanta FaZe another round, which is the important thing. But a silver lining on top of that is that Celium now has the cruise missile.
Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. And you see Sib ready for the trade, just guesses the wrong direction. And an interesting moment. You want to go for the 1v2. Sib, fantastic S&D player as well, but maybe that moment bit off more than he could chew. How well can Atlanta FaZe capitalize off the back of a cruise missile? I don't know if they're going to go for it right away or keep it in the back pocket for a different side of the board, but utility can go a long way.
What's the plan now for Subliners? When does he call it in? Where can we dip to? We have to play a position where we have to be ready for it. So I'd rather keep a hold of it, I would imagine, for a little bit longer, but we'll figure out what's going to happen. Atlanta FaZe 3-2 to the gut.
They're just waiting on any flanks, see if there's any noise on the map, but no tacks being thrown, no nades being thrown, no flanks coming through for Simp to catch. So the action over towards A, and this is bomb down low, Abizi getting aggressive.
Find the pick. Shots coming in. Is Abizi going to think about it? The nade through the left-hand side, not going to connect. The trophy system doing its job. Is there a moment potentially to bring this cruise missile in? Maybe not now. Hydra will find the gunfight on Draza. A little bit more real estate, and Hydra's just going to do it all on his own. Finds Abizi as well. Celium caught in a bad place, but Sim, this will not be red. Oh, was he going to get bad timing? Not quite. We'll find Skies. Doable now, but Sib finds Celium. Simp gets taken down. Subliners a big bounce back round.
Shutting him down as well. Dominating down that A lane. Sib shot on point. Hydra thriving as well in the moment. An important round to get. Still, you have not expended that cruise missile, so New York Subliners got to keep that in the back of their mind, but it's a situation. They just do not want to give away these bomb plants for free, because if Salim's alive with the bomb down, that'd be incredibly difficult to clutch the round. Every single first blood, by the way, is the most important thing to notice on that graphic. Subliners have been on point. 6 for 6 is bonkers.
The fact that it's 3-3 is a testament to how well FaZe are playing too. giving things away and then still winning the round. Big pressure coming in from the pool side. There is another first blood for Kismet. And for the side of Subliners, advantageous position. Now they will dip out, get the hell out of there. And look at the pressure coming back in here from FaZe, getting a lot of mid-map presence. Are they going to be reading this though? This guy's now starting to put pressure, and he's got the rest of the team here with him.
Oh my god, this
Double
play
flank
is
from
wild.
Drazza and Cell.
Oh my god, this play is wild.
BZ just staying alive. No, they're working on something, but they're seeing nothing. That's the problem. Absolutely no information for the players on FaZe who hit that long flank. Find themselves now searching around, floundering around, and this bomb's going down.
And there's a cutoff kill. Yep, Sib lying in wait. The island player for the team. Eventually, one would fall into his lap in a 4v2. Subliners, this is their flow state.
Salim really hasn't had an opportunity to use this cruise missile. I'll find another kill on the Hydra. Next kill's massive. Sib will find it. Drazza now left into 1 versus 3. Not going to happen. Sib
That's huge.
with a minimum of 3 in that round. Fantastic work from the Subliners. Find themselves in the lead now. Cruise missile still available for Celium. Bear that in mind. But Sib sitting at 9 and 4, having a hell of a map number 5.
Yeah, and also every single first blood for New York Subliners on this map. That is 7 for 7. That is unacceptable for Atlanta FaZe. Got to get back on the board. And for New York Subliners, they're going to be back on the defensive end. It is more or less operation. Don't give up the bomb plant for free. Apply the pressure both sites. Both are wide out in the open. And if you get a bomb down in a 4v4 situation, it can be devastating. And they've read the pressure right. A little bit of stack towards the middle of the map and 2 players out towards the pool side. No first blood just yet, but New York Subliners know where the pressure is.
Sib on the force break. And here comes the cruise missile. And it's going to force them away. What's he going to be able to find with it? Not a great deal by the looks of things. Oh, he will find Hydra on the way in. Well played. Hydra gets taken down. That bomb will be going down to B. FaZe looking to tie things up. Abizi staying alive. Power position. Do they check over the top though? As Drazza here for backup. Kismet will find one though on the flank. And could things start to work out? Absolutely not, because Simp has closed the net and Kismet is left all alone.
Nothing. Simp there to catch him and 2 roaming players. I was going to say Simp in effect lets Kismet through the middle of the map, but the same could be said from the other side. Kismet lets Simp through and shoots 2 players in the back and decides the rounds. Atlanta FaZe very much playing a style where they're just letting Simp think. Give him room to breathe. Let him operate in whatever space he deems fit. And right now, just the Terminator as well. It took a cruise missile, though, for Atlanta FaZe to get the first blood. And Selim had to read the juke. I think Hydra trying to play with the idea of what side of the wall he's going to be on. But that's what it takes to get a first blood and a round win. Tied up 4-4. And a 4-man stack towards the middle of the map. This time it's Kismet playing ISO.
Oh, and he's just going to get a call pretty much immediately. Sim's already firing by the time he jumps around the corner, but he would have got information there, I believe. How many did he see? But they've already wrapped back around, and that's the bomb with Hydra. Not in the position he wants to be. Grenade now going in. Maybe wait for the push to come in. Did it tag him up? Maybe just a little bit. Yeah. 66 HP. We'll have to back on down. FaZe are posturing, though. They're going to start pushing on through in just a second, you would think, but Subliners are the one that have to do something. But into the smoke they go. Hydra isn't going to catch anybody off guard. The fights around the smoke are just so difficult to find, and FaZe now in a position. The Sky's in the 1 versus 4. You manage to slip by in the smoke, but it's just such a chaotic moment when the smoke goes down. It's going to be FaZe match point.
Smokes at Call of Duty are absolute hell. You go to war when you stand inside of it and you are praying for the gunfights to go your way. But there's the retake, and with the man advantage off of another first blood, it's been a rare sight for Atlanta to get them, but when they do, they execute. Simp flying now and able to fry Sib. A little bit of help with the comms from Celium in that moment, but completely on point. Simp, that's the 5 spree, by the way, that he was going on. This man just cranked up his gameplay the past 2 maps.
If you can find the cruise missile, you may as well be writing the obituary. The New York Subliners. The Tiny Terrors playing together. They know if they get this cruise missile, the game should be theirs. Subliners dare not move.
Just playing for a mistake. You got Atlanta FaZe on one shoe, Andy on another. But no one moving. So much map control over towards B as well. So New York Subliners, they can stay stagnant in the setup. They have good positions.
They've seen them though. Kismet around the corner. He gets caught. Cruise missile available. And now Simp is just not going to stop. He runs forward. And Hydra left in a 1 versus 3. Can he stop the bomb going down though? Simp on his left. Everybody else around him doesn't find anything. It's more kills for Simp and more wins for FaZe. They were tested all the way. But a 6-4 victory in a 5-map series that will go down as one of the best in quite some time. Subliners close, but no cigar.
That's another one correct that I got. Yes, sir. Fucking 3-2 FaZe. I mean, I want FaZe to lose, but I mean, it is what it is. At least I was right.
New York Subliners
clearly
ready for the day.
Up next, Optic versus Legion.
So difficult to take down.
Legion.
Masterclass on the final 2 hills of the Karachi hardpoint. Atlanta FaZe got back-to-back breaks that were nail biters, and Simp the Man leading the charge in the final 2 maps as well. Double digits there in the S&D. Didn't care about the cruise missile. He knows that he was the streak, but the fact that they only got 2 first bloods, one of them was a cruise missile by Salium, and they still win the game. Atlanta FaZe, they truly are built different.
You could point towards some deficiencies in terms of not finding them, but for Subliners, that's going to sting as well. Plenty of them went their way. 8 out of the rounds that they did play a 6-4 victory for FaZe in the end, and that series really does tell the tale of what was a wonderful one at that as well. FaZe, though, inevitably come out on top. Subliners very much hung in that one. A really, really good series from them. Very much here to play it within the top 4, and I'm sure the desk will enjoy breaking this one down. What an absolute banger that was in the Search and Destroy to close things out. Guys, what a series.
He's here. He's there. He's every freaking where. Chris Lair. Chris Lair.
It's unbelievable.
Sorry, Alley Cat. The FaZe team, they won as predicted, but the Subliners look so good in this matchup. Let's break it down because we were watching Game 5. Subliners strike first in the Search and Destroy, but you said just watch. FaZe is going to evolve their game over time.
Yeah, they did, man. Absolutely beautiful. The minute things that they're doing on the map is just insane. Round 1, you saw New York. They strike first. They go over towards Statue, and it's a slow developing round. FaZe end up getting to a 1v1 that they ultimately lose. But what they decided was, okay, we noticed Kismet's the guy on an island playing in their spawn. So fast forward all the way to round 9, and they decipher, okay, it's the same Statue push. What are we going to do? We're going to send it down mid, and we're going to identify Kismet first for that first blood. And there are a couple instances throughout this map that they took information earlier and applied it later on, and what makes them so great. This Atlanta FaZe team is unbelievable, and it was Simp at the spearhead.
Allie, can we talk about this guy? 12 kills. He shows up when Selling has an off series, and he carries his team to that Game 5 victory.
I mean, he's called God by his teammates for a reason, right? This is a Simp we expect to see, if not the best player in the game. But I do want to play devil's advocate here for just a moment on the side of New York Subliners. This was one of their best matches we have watched in the past couple of weeks because they have been kind of on the outside, the back end of the top 4, sitting with Toronto Ultra. And for me, like, you're looking back at the series and you're feeling pain in 2 situations. Losing that round 11 in Invade, Search, and Destroy because Atlanta FaZe is 0-3 on that map in mode respectfully. And then you move forward to that hard point, that final hill.
Can we just pause on that? Because it's our Scuff play in the game. Let's show it. It's the end of map number 4 where FaZe breaks the heart of the Subliners. Allie, walk us through it.
It's literally exactly what I was talking about. It's the very final moment that Atlanta FaZe is able to get the most impossible break over on the bar hill. And who more than to be off the back of that, of it being Draza with the cruise and Simp with the final 2. This was a back and forth game the entirety of the way. Unfortunately, New York got a little too over aggressive and gas. They have the early rotation. One gets picked, and Atlanta FaZe gets a perfect read.
Yeah, I mean, I thought New York were in a great spot to close this game out. They needed, what, 53 seconds? They had control of P2, and they had a perfect setup. They killed everybody on FaZe. They forced FaZe to spawn back alley, and then Hydra just over challenges back alley, dies. But guess what happens? FaZe can't win on that hill. They have to rotate. So New York over-challenge once again on rotation and give up that next hill. They are going to be regretting that map for some time.
All right, so New York does not get the W. It's Atlanta who comes out of this one unscathed, but it was a very tight matchup. To talk us through it, we've got Draza in the Monster Winner Spotlight. Draza way closer than a lot of fans expected in the chat. They were freaking out in that game 4. Were you ever panicked throughout that series?
No, I think our SDs really showed out today, and I think that's something we've been working on. Obviously, last major, I think we went 0-4 that Sunday in S&D, so I'm happy about that. The respawns, I don't care as much about. I think our S&D situationals were perfect in the map 2 and 5, so I think that's a huge upgrade, and I'm never scared with this team. I think we can come back from any, point in the game.
Love that.
Of course, and being arguably the best team in the game right now, it's up to maybe a little bit up for debate. But for Atlanta FaZe, like, what is your main focus? Is it expanding the map pool? Is there a specific game mode this split they're trying to focus on as we move towards Major 4, the last one of the season?
Yeah, I would just have to say it's S&D, which if S&D is us as a team, our worst game mode, I think that's very scary for teams, because I don't think any of us have had, we're all S&D players, and I think if S&D is the worst, then, we're looking really good. So we just got to work on that, and we did that this series, and it's good to see.
Seems like you guys are really focused on search and destroy, so I'm going to stay on topic here. I'm going to ask about it. You guys had some great adjustments, especially in that game 5, like learning from what they were doing earlier in the game. Who's the guy noticing that and making those calls later on?
I think it's kind of all of us. I think Chris was calling a lot of plays that map, but I think it's just like something we've been working on, because we're all S&D kids. We know it's just playing more reactive. Getting the information off the break and then being reactive, making people have to think of where we can be, is how you win S&D, and that's what we were doing today, and I feel like we've all been trying to work on it the best we can.
Draza, I don't know if you know this, but you set 2 records during this series. What are you more proud of, dropping 47 kills in a single map to set the league record, or the 8,300 damage you dropped?
Honestly, we lost the map, so I don't think it counts, but, that's just me. So, I mean, it's whatever.
I love that. The man sets a record, and he's not happy with the result. They don't get the dub, but they do in Game 5. Draza, you are still the #1 team when it comes to the stats. You didn't raise the trophy at the end of Major 3. Any words for your opposition going into Major 4?
Don't let us start cooking on S&D. Don't let it happen.
Just don't let it happen. Love that. Great advice from Draza, and a big win over the Subliners tonight. Congratulations on winning our Monster Energy matchup.
Thank you.
That's Draza, that's Atlanta FaZe, and that is Nameless pulling away by 2 in our predictions. When we come back, though, Allie's going with Vegas Legion. They're going to pull off the upset over Optic. Don't go anywhere. It's the final battle, week 1 of the CDL qualifiers.
Y'all know what's gonna happen. Y'all know what the fuck is gonna happen. Come on now. Come on now.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
The Champs Tracer pack is available now. The bundle includes the Reaper Operator skin, Ripper Weapon Blueprint, Death Stare Weapon Blueprint, Cuts Deep Charm, 2 calling cards, 2 emblems, and 2 weapon stickers. Use these items in both Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty Warzone. Available in store now using Call of Duty points.
Blah 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 blah.
Absolutely loving the Rio addition to the asset. And you get into the Karachi S&D just so.
Secure the target area.
Kobe.
Oh my god.
Well, the Kobe worked. If that doesn't go in the CDL TV for best fails of the week, I don't know what to believe.
Long, that's I'm holding back. I'm pushing now. I have the door push. Wait, stay alive. Long. I have the door. Use your 2 front door. Look at one. Let's get front door. Let's get front door. Watch your front door. Watch your front. Nice one. Let's get late. Long. Stay alive. Stay down. Oh my god. Let's go. Baby. We're sweeping them. I promise you. God. Oh my god. Holy fuck.
I got last one on me. I saw him. Oh! Hey, how many did I get?
Oh my lord.
Was that an ace?
In the corner.
Nice, bro. I would have killed him. I just had ammo. This is ugly, bro. What are they doing on the map?
Again.
Let's go, boys. We need a new intro. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I come from a city, you hear signs when we sleep. Heaven sent, hands down, vibes so unique.
Look at, oh yeah, hey, okay, hey.
If you tuned in to watch the best teams in Call of Duty, you came to the right place. You just saw FaZe, our #1 team, compete. Now you're about to see #2 on our season power rankings. Optic Texas takes on Las Vegas Legion, and this is going to be, well, should be a one-sided affair if you've been watching recent matches. Optic went 4-0 in Toronto to raise that title. Then they 3-0'd Miami just yesterday. This is a hot streak for the squad that is trying to challenge everyone and say that they are the #1 team in the game.
Yeah, they're trying to, get some separation there at the top. And, they see 2 of their primary competition go all the way to a game 5, and they're like, listen, we're just trying to 3-0 everybody. And, they have an opportunity here against Las Vegas to do so once again, where they're going to be throwing in some maps that they need a little bit of work on. And in this series specifically, 2-0 for Optic. It's been easy every time. They've only lost 1 map in each series. But when you talk about it specifically player-wise, Kenny has dominated the Vegas Legion. A 1.16. He's been lighting up in the damage category, and he's at the top of this game currently.
And for Optic Texas, it's just a reel of how good they are. When it comes to Monster Energy pregame, if that ever comes up, I can't imagine there's really anything on the bad side. They're Unreal at Hardpoint, 16-3, and they've gotten better at Search and Destroy, 9-4 in the last 14. They do need to work on control, but even there, it's 4-6. It's average. It's Optic Texas. These players are good at respawn, and they're gonna be able to steal some every once in a while to win these series. And so maybe the bad, if you go into the nitty-gritty, their opening goals need some work. They're 10th overall in the league, but again, it's not really hindering them in their win percentage because they're 9-4.
Nameless, what I found craziest there was they're 13-1 in game 1s. They start every series with a lead.
Yeah, I mean, they have the deepest hardpoint map pool in the game. They have maps that are just ace in the hole that you can't even play against them. And when you talk about clutches as well, Dashy has just been crazy. 15 clutches on the leaderboard. We saw a heavy amount of those at that last major. The guy is he's got ice in his veins.
He's got 10 1v2s, 5 1v1 clutches, 15 overall. The next highest is Vehicle at 11, and you see the rest of the crew still trailing Big Bruce. But will he need to be clutch today? Or is this Optics match to lose?
He will not need to be clutch today, because when you talk about Vegas and where they've struggled, really it's been the search and destroy. 2-10 in the last 60 days. They don't do anything particularly well in the game mode.
Come on, but if we need it,
Optics should have this one pretty clean.
Vegas Legion
if we need it, he's there for it. You feel me?
Roster change. They've been looking for success, and maybe they'll find it here in the Major 4 qualifiers. It didn't happen in their first matchup against Toronto. That was an 0-3 performance. So today we need to see some life. Nero has had monster takeover games. We've seen Geo have phenomenal stats. But as a whole, this unit has been struggling.
I completely agree with you. And, you know, to play maybe the other side of that coin, like, it was a close map #1 versus Toronto Ultra. And that was on a Karachi hardpoint. It wasn't even one of their best maps. So Monster Energy pregame, they're good. They are good at sub-base. The problem is Optic Texas is better. And they're also good at Rio. They're 3-0 combined on these two maps. Outside of it, 2-7. You know, and it's frustrating because Las Vegas was a top 4 hardpoint team before the change. And now they are one of the worst. Flip side of that coin, the bad is kind of everything, but specifically search and destroy. 1-6 in that game mode. Worst in attack, worst in opening duel, worst in post plant. They have just not been able to work these attacks in search and destroy.
Nameless, if we throw away all the stats, we just rely on our 4-shot MCWs today for Las Vegas Legion. Where can I steal some maps?
Not map 1. But yeah, I mean, you know, looking at it, like for them, obviously they are going to have to get it done in control. We've seen them have some wild high-rise controls before. We've seen Nero go on plenty of streaks there, so that'll be the respawn that they have to take, and then obviously through search and destroy. But you still just have no faith in them because Optic have looked so clean lately.
It's time for our Scuff Pick'ems. Allie, you do the honors after nearly picking the subliners correctly. It's your turn.
I was going to pick Vegas Legion. You're insane. I'm going with Optic Texas.
Optic Texas, as expected.
Listen, Geo's going to have a masterclass, but Optic Texas is going to win.
Dang it. Funny.
I think Pred challenges his performance from yesterday and leads the lobby in game #1 once again, and it's going to be another 3-0. Optic Texas is just too strong on a heater after raising the trophy in Toronto.
Yep. Hey, say it louder for the bitches in the back. Say it louder for the hoes in the back.
I'm raising the mic. Is this what you wanted? No, you're absolutely right. This is definitely a matchup just on paper that doesn't look all that great. But hey, at least with the new roster, Vegas have played and looked pretty decent on the first 3 maps we have in this map series set. Maybe there's a chance for them to steal a map if they play at their best.
Yeah, but sub-base, like, why are you playing that against Optic? I know that had to happen because Optic Texas right now, they're just auto-undoing Karachi. You don't want to play them on 6-star, so you are forced to play them on a map like sub-base where obviously Optic Texas are #1 overall.
Come on, brother. Come on, brother. They fucking dropped Purge and Miami's fucking stupid asses picked them up.
Overall on the season in hold,
like,
also 6 in break percentage as well. This has been their bread and butter. But on the opposite side of Vegas Legion, at least with this new squad, they're sitting at 2-0 on this.
Yeah, that was a straight bullet. I'm sorry, Miami. I didn't mean it like that. I really didn't.
Yeah, I think maybe that one thing is simply to put that Johnny's in the mix. And he has played pretty well, considering that, you know, it's been a very recent stint. He had the 1 game of the qualifier, 1 game of the major. But, hey, you know, he has looked pretty good overall. It just comes down to making it all work fully. Johnny for first blood. Talk about him and he shall appear. But Optic, very slow on their opening approach. They'd love to just figure out the high ground situation and then find ways to catapult themselves on towards the hill.
Yeah, they just don't spawn on the preferred side going into this initial P1 hill. So you have to find a couple exit kills on the way on out. But all of Las Vegas, they have been able to execute that hold to perfection. Holding down top comms, having no one push out towards the warehouse side is also a big play. But you best believe with Nero in that position, he's the guy that's watching that cut.
Yeah, and that may be one of the biggest influence players that we need to see really step up here for Vegas. He has been great in his history at times, being the X factor for previous teams. And how about here? Shuts down the rotation towards the P2 side. A couple of kills for Optic over the old hard point, though, kind of neutralized that. And even though it's a 39-1 start, Vegas find themselves at the wrong time, spawning on the wrong part of the map, and Attach just has to sit here and play his life.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario to drop in the final 5 seconds of that old hill, because now all of Vegas Legion are forced to break in towards P2 now. But Optic Texas, even with them having a couple players on that side of the map, they are still yet to work that objective because they know they do not have the spawns all in their favor. The whole kill feed is going to be white. Geo having such a great start to this game already at 5-1. He finds 3 to potentially secure the spawns, but Optic Texas, they spawn right in the back there to reinforce.
Yeah, huge kill from Kenny. Keeps his hard point largely. The game clock has won it. Not a lot of time for either one of these two teams, but Vegas from the front will get the reinforcements up. Now it's just fighting back against this oncoming hit from Texas, but honestly, it's taken some time. It looks like they're trying to figure out where is Nero gone to, and while they're structuring the hit, the kills are looking good. Geo over the top of the forklift can't find the final, but hey, think about it, his attach is right there to pick up, and this has been a fantastic start for Vegas.
Yeah, this is perfect. It doesn't get any better than this. Obviously, if you don't die in the first 5 seconds at that P1, you're gonna got a little bit more time there at that P2 HP. But now Optic Texas spawning all the way across the map. No cruise misses to work with. Shots, he doesn't even have a kill. What the hell is going on?
Don't know. I really don't. Wish I could tell you, but flat out, this is just Vegas putting on a masterclass. Good patience, good concentration, and just good composure all the way through. It's definitely shades of what we saw the potential for Vegas early on into the season. Last player left alive is Dashy. Gio's there for the trade, and with the spawns, Vegas can just casually walk their way back into the hard point.
Yeah, so this final 30 is going to be theirs. If you are out to Texas, you have to find something to stop the bleeding. It might be Shotzi getting his first kill of the map. Tech can try to chain something together, but Vegas Legion coming out swinging so far. First 3 hills have been all theirs. Johnny starting to roar a little bit. He finds that 3rd kill with only 4 HP left. And now if you are Optic Texas, you're already allowing a couple players from Vegas Legion out, which you don't want to happen.
Yeah, Gio out 4 in a row. Trying to line up the shots at range against Pred. Difficult to be sure. Can't quite find the connection. But that told. Lots of focus towards attach on ult. There's Gio popping out for number 5. Cannot stay alive to try to earn himself a cruise missile. But again, these little 1v1s as the hard point opens up keeps Optic from finding time. So even though Vegas are losing rotation, they're still neutralizing the time. This has been all in all pretty darn good for Vegas through P2 and now here on P4.
And now if you are out in Texas, you hit the back spawns and you now have all the control of the map and exactly where Vegas Legion are going to attack from. You need this 35 seconds to make up some much needed time. Shotzi, 1 in 13. He was our MVP of Major 3, able to get his 2nd kill on the board. He's just not having a start that everyone expects.
Getting caught, just simply put. Timing-wise, he's just trying to make a route happen. He's just getting flat-out caught by Vegas and their patience. But like you mentioned, the back scrap time, important here for Optic just to try to get this thing more to manageable terms, and so far, so good. Kenny up top P2. Good look towards Johnny. Doesn't quite see the player crossing below him, but is able to find Gio. No worries. And even though Shotzi started slow, Kenny has been impressive, and that continues to be the case until he meets Nero at range.
Yeah, it's still a 50-point game, so if you are Optic Texas, let's try to keep this P5 a little bit staggered. But with all the kills not going in their favor, and they do not have the spawns over towards next, so Vegas Legion can continuously run up that scoreboard. None of the kills are just going in their favor, man. Every single gun by Vegas Legion are clutching on up.
Might be one of those things that the recent MCW buffs really help out this Vegas team, especially picking up Johnny, who has been a strong flex player through his time in Challengers. Now you've got the support of both Nero, Gio, and Attach all working. It's a team wipe that comes through. Vegas currently find themselves on a huge team streak, and with it, the lead grows back to about 100 points.
And now they're already winning a rotation over towards next. They know exactly where all of Optic Texas are trying to execute their play from.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Like, dead ass B.
Finds that kill onto Kenny. And now Shotzi, he's trying to hit a water up, but everyone is dropping around him. Vegas Legion, enough from us. Let's go to a listen. I'm curious to see how the hell they are sounding.
I'm getting away from the top.
Okay.
Right.
I'll look tunnel. I have tunnel.
Yeah, but you're tunnel. Yo, left.
I think you're long. Let's get shit.
I'm on the
open.
I think you're long.
Yo,
I hear long. I hear long.
What do I have all tunnel? I have all tunnel.
I don't have your long.
Yo, DK, you want up the streak? You want up
Yo,
the streak?
P5, get out weak. Shot in front already.
I'm weak. I'm pushed up right, guys. I'm pushed up right.
One shot closet. Even long. It's like Kenny.
I've all right.
He's on time.
I'm cutting for server.
Two on time, I think.
Top server, Shotzi.
Top. All right, yo, one's on time, one's green.
That's top server.
Oh, he's on the green door.
Oh, top server. Alright, make sure you stay alive, P2, whoever that is.
One shot top server.
20 mind you.
Yep. Stay alive, DK. Yeah. Good 15. Good 15. Good 15.
Bottom of me, Shotzi.
I'm pushing closet.
You jump to me. There's two. Print on time. You're good. Just make sure we have the spawn.
Left hand time. We're looking for Kenny.
I'm still missing there. He's playing back server, guys.
In the back, Shotzi.
Kenny, there's 2 more back there.
I'm one top.
I'm wrapping the right. Take your time. I'm wrapping P1. Give me a sec.
I'll get time. Inside the race. Top.
Good shit.
I'm
coming.
I pushed too long.
I'm getting inside.
You're good on that. Almost low.
Get time.
Okay. I'll get time in a second. There's 3. Nice, good shit. That's the back, Tony.
Get secret if you need to.
I have 3 there. There's 3 there.
I'm getting inside.
I have take him up you.
I'm one shot.
They like going top 3. Someone hold it. I go on. That's one top 3.
I have all top 3 hops.
Yo, top 3. Going.
He's very weak.
Just hold it.
Bring your time.
Yeah, we flip. That's good. I got
to get that whole time. We'll be taking time.
Got me, DK.
What's front of me?
Yeah, hold on. Give me a second.
Alright, what's front hop?
Alright, go. Time to weak, actually. Top left. Time to weak. And there's 2 ult.
You all hear that?
Yeah, there's 2 ult.
New weak. We're good.
What is he new?
He was back new, alright?
Okay, you saw me go left.
Alright, I'm going right.
Sure.
Alright, take your time. I'm gonna...
One ult, Fred.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Literally one bullet ult. Fred.
Get
him on top.
Yeah, he probably did. I'm gonna chomp.
Fred,
Top. Stash you weak. Got him. That's 2.
Alright, let's work
P5.
I can shrink this too.
We could be top.
I'm shaking.
Still spawning back there. Back right there, Fred.
I'm team back right.
All time. One's going in lockers and 2 backside time.
Yo, I'm gonna pinch this. I'm gonna try and spawn him out right here.
I killed you. Two lockers.
I'm behind him. Give me a sec.
I got one shot locker. One spawn out. Back in 2. One spawn out. One's front.
Kenny and Dashi lockers.
I'm playing deep.
Shotzi's in tunnel.
One's underneath me.
Shotzi tunnel. One's lockers.
Fred,
nothing.
I got one shot.
What's open?
Shit, I have left.
That's that tunnel dead.
Let's go.
We're missing one.
I'm gonna push tunnel right here. We're looking for one. Hold that.
Yeah.
Someone hold on.
I mean, it sounds like they're vibing. They're putting all the right calls together. That P4, or P3 rather, a little unfortunate off the cruise missile for Vegas. Allows Optic a window to get back in, but still the lead, the cushion, good. And now the rotation as well, Jay, looking solid for Vegas.
Yeah, I'm loving the way that they're sounding, man. Keep in mind that this roster's only been together for 3 matches before this one on their hands. So you have to work on that chemistry aspect, but everybody was calming. The cutoff kills are being watched. Everything is just sinking right now for Vegas as Gio finds himself on 3 in a row. Single-handedly shuts down that early break there from Optic Texas, but it's still a 60-point game.
Fred down low, able to find a beat down, but Nero up top. Oh, 5 in a row with the prediction on the second. And all of a sudden, Vegas will get past the 200-point mark. And Nero can just stay here, play cutoff, see if he can earn himself a cruise missile. Hasn't been able to track it down yet, but does find it versus Kenny. It's another 3-for-1 kill feed. Vegas looking good for the scrap, unless Shotzi can find a way to pop up the ladder, find a couple, break the scrap. It feels like a necessity. He'll only get 1, though, and now Vegas a chance to win the game.
Yeah, Vegas in the perfect opportunity. They have the spawns off the rotation towards P5. They just do not have that set up
What
currently.
the fuck?
No cruise missiles are going to be easily led to this early break for them, so you have to get this done with the gunny. Attach already sitting through top comms. He finds that initial kill. Here comes Nero with that cruise missile. It's about that time for Vegas Legion to try to take map 1.
This time it will land. Shotzi the one to drop. Pred staying alive up top at Warehouse, though. A critical position for Optic, but Johnny guns him out of the window. Oh boy, trophy system gets placed. Dashed in a little bit of trouble, but does not get stunned. Maybe a chance for him to weasel his way in, find a couple of kills, pistols out, but the supply of help from Attach, so darn good. Vegas are gonna clean the floor, and wow. Talk about an opening. One more chance for Optic to break. Shotzi would have to do it on a 14-31 map. Vegas shut him down and steal away a bread and butter pick for Optic Texas.
That is unbelievable, Alan. That is unbelievable. Everybody in the world had this one checked off. Optic Texas sitting at 11-0. No way in hell that they're going to lose a sub-base to a roster that's only been together basically like 3 weeks. But
what the fuck?
Vegas Legion just came out of the gate swinging. They dominated the P1. They chained it over to the P2. Even with Optic Texas finding a couple kills, they just couldn't work that objective. You allow Vegas Legion to instantly work their way back in, still a lot of that time away from you, but they were just always ahead of the game. Obviously, Shotzi didn't have a great performance, but neither did Dashi. On a map like Subbase, where those ARs need to be felt, neither player from Optic Texas was in a position to find a couple kills in a row to try to stop the bleeding, because Vegas Legion were just covering so much ground, everyone going positive. Johnny had his moments. Nero dropped 2 cruise missiles at different points in the game, but Gio, he was the shining light from start to finish of that match. Every time Vegas Legion needed something to happen, it was him either clutching up in a double, finding a triple, easily leading to the break. And if you're Vegas Legion, this is your opportunity now, because you're only sitting at 110 points so far. You need to try to get this win, especially at this moment, because with Optic Texas, when you're playing against some of the top 4 teams in this stage, they're all about testing their map pool. And the only thing that's going to scare me now is that this was Optic's map. The next 2, which is 6-star, Search and Destroy, they have yet to play it at least a lot. They only have 2 reps on it, and the high-rise control has been their bread and butter band all season long. They are trying to now add that, so this is the opportunity where Vegas Legion can try to make up some points.
I mean, that stat right there is the most incredible thing. I mean, it has been a flawless map that has been a regular occurring map for Optic. On average, they're beating teams by 70 points on this map. So for the fact that Vegas are looking at this matchup, like you mentioned, they need the points. Maybe there's an opportunity to steal away a map or 2, but you're not thinking you're going to steal away the series. But to sit there and say, we're going to let Optic pick Subbase, and then come out and win it with a roster that has played this map now 3 total times, that is 34 counts of criminal, no matter which way you put it. Unbelievable start for Vegas, and like you said, the next 2 maps start to really build their favor.
Yeah, so now if you are the Texas backs against the wall, it seems like they just got caught slipping right off the rip. Like, Shotzzy didn't get a kill until he was about 0-10. Dashy was sitting at almost triple negative. The guns weren't just warmed up for Optic. Obviously, if you're that Major 3 champion, you walked away yesterday versus Miami, you're thinking, oh, it's going to be all clean and dandy throughout this stage. We're the best team in the game. But when you get caught slipping like this, now you are forced to sit up in your chair, probably turn your monitor on a little bit because you got to lock in for this game too.
Big time. Well, the good news here, I think, at least for the side of Optic fans, is that 6-star Search and Destroy may not necessarily be your go-to, but on the other side, Vegas have been miserable at Search and Destroy. They have only won a single map, and it was a 6-4 versus Boston. A couple of round 10 losses here and there, but again, since this team has reformed, they have had to refigure out what they want to do in Search and Destroy, and that's been the biggest question mark about how quickly that could come with Vegas still in the hunt for playoffs.
And that's the biggest thing, is that when you're a team that just makes a roster change, you only played 3 matches together, S&D is going to have some kinks to it. You have to work out a bunch of these situational plays, and it's nothing better than playing against a team who's also working on things on a map like 6-star. So if you are Vegas Legion, one thing that you definitely need to fix on is your plant scenario. You're the best team at getting the bomb down on 6-star. But for some reason, you're one of the worst teams in post-plant scenario. So setup's got to be a lot better. Hopefully with the chemistry and the practice that's going in throughout the last couple of weeks after Major 3, they should be a little bit better.
Been a while since we've seen Optic on this map, but I think a lot of that was simply off the fact that they were trying to really enforce what they were doing on High Rise and Invasion. That started to kind of look really solid for them and definitely assisted on their pathway through their run at Toronto. But now a new map gets added, and you already kind of mentioned this, you know, for our top 4 teams that are out there, you're going to see a lot more of this. It's like, especially in modes like Search and Destroy and Control, throw in your off map, see if you can find a way to get some extra reps on it, where that leaves the door open for these teams that need points to possibly pull off what we're calling upsets here.
And when you take a look at the numbers in this S&D attacking side, obviously the Death Touchdown and Vegas Legion, they are literally the worst in every single category. 33% on their attack win side, 12th overall on their attacking side, which is not good. Opening dual win percentage, not the greatest. And in post-plant scenario, we touched on it a little bit. You got to make sure that those post-plant setups are going to be a lot better, because Optic Texas, one thing that they can always rely on is those retake situations, especially on the defensive side.
And the other part about this too, you know, not to keep going back and forth, but you know, the Vegas statistics are going to feel a lot worse than maybe they are since this roster has been put together. And I think in particular, even though they're just 1-1 on 6-star with Johnny, it's around 10 win versus Boston and around 10 loss versus Miami, and not the greatest strength.
It's all
in terms
good.
of
It's
who
all
you've
good.
played.
We got this
But again, they're
S&D
getting
and we got
reps
this Control.
in competitive form on
go.
these maps that we're going to see, especially in these first 3. So definitely one of those things that for Vegas fans, strong as you may be out there will-wise, you find yourself kind of looking at this map too as a very possible place to go up 2-0, which I don't think anyone would have predicted based on the 2 teams on paper playing up against each other. But the map series set, plus of course the 1-0 win on sub base, allows a chance for Vegas to do the unthinkable here. So lot to call on for Optic to play a map they have not played a lot of, and try to figure out if they can add this into the arsenal in terms of map picks and their bans as we move through the rest of this year.
Yeah, you got to try to expand your map pool, especially when you get towards the later half of the year. So if you are Optic Texas, this is going to be good practice going up against this Vegas Legion squad. It always goes down to the wire on a little bit of 6-star S&D. As them on the attacking side, going to show a lot of presence over towards B. Not able to spot anyone on that side of the map, but Gio's just waiting, just trying to give some information to his teammates that this is where the play's coming in.
Yeah, and the deep player into Johnny is going to have to make a decision here playing over towards the aquarium. Does he want to play around the back? And ooh, maybe now he does, because Kenny dropping on the island gives maybe an off chance for Johnny to step in. And yeah, he's able to take down Dashy off screen. So now it's just the 2 players for Optic on the point. Shotzzy feels like he has to make a move with his teammate in Pred getting hit by the damage of the Dade, but still the kill comes through. A chance to hold this post plant now from the back. And this is a really powerful position for Pred to hold.
Man, this is a good opportunity still for Optic Texas to try to clutch up at the 4v2. You have Shotzzy going on a route. Pred also wins his 1-on-1, but now Pred left in the 1v2 with only 14 seconds left. The stun is going to connect. He's able to find that kill onto attach, but just more bodies in the right positionings for Vegas Legion. Attach starts it off by finding that 1-on-1 gunfight versus Kenny. If you're Kenny, you probably want to wait for that bomb plant to go down, potentially catch him off that rotation. Once that first blood goes down, then Johnny through that side of the AC alley finds that second kill. I don't know how the hell he found it, but Vegas Legion secured the first.
Yeah, because it looked like he was late to the gunfight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hard to say, but yeah, that route opens up and Johnny makes good use of it. Pred gives himself a hell of a chance, though, tell me that much. I mean, for a 2v4, that's about as good of a situation as you can find yourself if you're for Optic, but not to be. So 3 in the round for Pred ends up amounting to nothing, as Gio and Johnny are looking to see if maybe they've scouted out something here to see if Optic will try to get aggressive here in Aquarium.
And Optic, they tend to struggle in first bloods on the defensive side, 9th overall at 37%. But when they find it, it's 100% conversion rate. So Vegas Legion have gotten a read that they don't want to give up that early first kill. Want to see if you can catch Optic Texas being a little bit aggressive up the middle of the map, but it's already been 30 seconds wiped off the game clock. Here comes the play over towards A, and Shotzi, he finds that first blood.
And attaches in trouble. Pred is on the hunt, sees the door pop, no worries there. Johnny keeping a lifeline available, though, through U-Haul. Just like that, we've had 2 different 4v2s turn into 2v2s. This one a little bit more hard-pressed, though, for Vegas with no bomb in hand. Shotzi watching one side, Pred the other. And this would have to be some great bait and switching from Vegas if they were to try to find a way to get a kill and recover this bomb.
Now you can see both players are trying to split up now. At least cast the timing on what Optic Texas are trying to do on their defensive setup, but that time is starting to get away from you. Only 20 seconds left. The bomb is going to be down over towards A. Finally, you're going to put in position to at least get the info onto Pred, but this play is going to fall into the hands of Gio.
And he just doesn't have an angle on it, so Johnny has to try to step up once again. Tags are in. Gio finds the first. Shotzi has to commit to this gunfight. Finds the first one, no problem. Gio commits for getting the bomb. Does he get down to find the kill? And oh my goodness! At the very last second, Shotzi forced to play his ground, nearly works it back. Gio thinks about planting the bomb, but then commits for the gunfight and wins it with fractions of a second left.
Yeah, that's the only play Gio had right there, because when Shotzi gets that kill onto Johnny, you know there's only 5 seconds left. Don't even know if he had enough opportunity to even work that objective, but he had to play for the gunfight. Thankfully, Shotzi did not run all the way across the map through that underground alley. He stays ready for that fight, but Gio comes out on top with that MCW. That buff has done wonders to this young man so far. Vegas Legion 2-0.
Oh my goodness. Something in the air you start to feel after a round like that, but opening nades from Pred, good. The trophy also keeps this Optic hit safe at A. And Attach just has to sit here and hope his teammates can get some sort of an opening on the flank. But you can already see Optic is set up with a post plant 4v3 with everything being watched.
Yeah, this is going to be tough because Vegas Legion on this map do not have a lot of success on the retake scenarios, and they also give up the most bomb plants. So Optic Texas with that first blood put themselves in a heavy advantage, as now there's only 30 seconds left. Just waiting for Nero. Getting any info on this deep pinch. He's at least able to find 1 kill. Not ready for the jumper from Shotzi. Still man advantage for Optic.
Yeah, focus towards the trophy system. Attach able to find 1, but unfortunately for Gio, cannot win his 1v1 over towards that sky bridge. So Optic, well formed on their post plant setup, deal with every threat almost instantaneously, and even down 0-1 and the map count 0-2, Keddy still got smiles and laughs, so 5's still high.
Yeah, it starts off with that early nade. Once you eliminate that player over towards the A side, you instantly work that objective. You have all your bases covered, and you trade effectively around that statue. So able to put 1 on the board is Optic Texas, but now back on the defensive side. But they found that initial first blood last go around.
Yeah.
I don't know if they gained the info that the bomb was down. That was the only thing.
Oh, trophy system out here for Vegas, trying to play this over aggressively in through U-Haul, and oh goodness, the trophy system at 8 changes, paying a bit of a difference maker already, as Vegas just absolutely throw the kitchen sink at Optic at mid. They come away with 2 kills, now a 4v2 post plant. Pred, though, timing wise, if he checks top nest, they would get a look at Gio, but now Attach could just play his life a little while longer. Shotzi forced to have to win out a 1v4, and he will meet his maker at the hands of Johnny, who's still having himself a good series.
And that's where it comes down to that new update with those trophies, man. You get one of your trophy players to be aggressive up through the map, but there's just way too many tags to block everything with that 1 trophy system. So 2 nades initially started off for Vegas Legion with that first blood, and then they instantly go over towards B. They know that Shotzi and Pred love to play around that statue shot at A. We eliminate both the AR players. That B side is going to be wide open, and they take full advantage of that moment to give themselves a nice little bit of a lead, up 3-1.
Clean stuff. I mean, comparing to what we saw from Vegas in their first couple of instances with this roster, teamwork is definitely right there where you want it to be. Good ideas, good executions to this point. This time, we're going to try to see what the A retake looks like as Optic is going to walk their way over and see absolutely no one's home here today. It just comes down to will they use this as confidence to plant immediately, and based on Shotzzy, try to step a little bit further forward. It looks like they are looking for a first blood.
It's going to be tough, though, because Vegas Legion, they already got a lot of the map going in their favor. They cleared out B Street, realizing no players from Optic Texas are trying to go on that side of the map, and then you take mid away from them. So now you have them basically trapped over towards this A site. Johnny ends up finding that first blood, and now Optic Texas in the man disadvantage have to try to work that objective.
Yeah, just looked like Optic thought that there was going to be a contest of the bomb itself. Kenny, decent damage into one, finds the kill onto Johnny. Backs off, 3v3. And Nero is going to say, I'm out of here. I know Kenny's going to be watching for this flank the whole way, so let me see if I can help my teammates out through the middle of the map. But as soon as Nero is seen, Kenny will be able to come back forward and help. Shotzzy on the corner, good for the first. Shots to Geo, not enough to find the kill. 1v1 towards Dashy. Oh, and he's finessed the bomb so well. Not technically a 1v2, but give him credit for it. Dashy finds the last two, no worries.
Yeah, you can always rely on that guy to shoot straight with that MCW. Finds that initial kill onto Nero, and then the shots onto Geo. He simply stood no chance in that gunfight. I know he got a little bit of assistance, but Dashy does not miss, especially on those kind of angles. But Optic Texas again finds success on their attacking side. Kenny this time around, though, he gets the play done because the fact that he's able to turn around, catch the timing on two players trying to go for that pinch, and at least walk away with one, it slows down Nero working his way around behind enemy lines. And by the time he gets back to his teammates, a couple players fall, just not enough time to work with.
A little bit more of a patient approach here for Vegas. 2-2 split. Two players focused over towards Aquarium. Once again, it's the same that we saw in that high-low setup from before. But this time, Optic, they've got a player deep in the form of Thread over towards that backside palm tree at P2. Nades start to change the focus, though, for Optic. Not seeing anything towards B and hearing a lot of noise at A. There will be a stack here at U-Haul.
Yeah, this is the same exact setup they had on the last attacking round. Just double stack from Geo and Johnny through the mid side. Nero unattached, trying to work this objective, but this time Nero is going to fall to the hands of Kenny. First blood in favor of Optic Texas. They have full bomb site control, and if Shotzzy could just turn to the right, make sure that that bomb is down, everyone should relocate to this side of the map, but Shotzzy gets it done by himself.
Yeah, you can even see that Vegas were so worried about Shotzzy playing over towards the Skybridge. They costed a stun to try to make sure that that was clear, and Shotzzy makes use of a different angle. Nade in towards Kitchen. Goes a little bit too far off the bounce. But Geo with 23 seconds and Dashy looking at him through statue. Feels like a pretty impossible 1v3. He's also got the pressure on from Pred from behind. Regen starts to come through. Geo gets the first, but again, time being the biggest issue here. Kenny's going to try to search him out just a touch, but Dashy be the one who finds the final kill, and Optic find their way into a couple of rounds in a row.
That's another first blood, this time out of Kenny again. If you're Vegas Legion, I would like to see a little bit different look on the attacking rounds, because that's now 2 times where they played the same exact setup. They try to at least spread the map, slow down the game on their attacking side, so you can force Optic Texas to change their defensive look. But every time they find that first blood over towards statue, that has been the bomb carrier, and that basically calls the round there. So Vegas Legion, all tied up at 3-3, all tied up in first bloods as well. But Optic Texas starting to get activated.
Yeah. And after a couple of wide open A sites, Optic gonna try to see maybe if they get a read here. It's the same setup that Vegas is, right? This little high-low SMG setup, and outside of a team kill, largely forced off the damage from Nero. It will be a 2-for-1 exchange. All good news for Optic. The bomb, once again, clear to plan if it wants to at A, but Kenny takes an extra step, finds attached through mid, and now they can rewrap this thing back to B, forcing Geo to have to go all the way across the map for this 1v3.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough because Geo, he's going to think, all right, the play definitely is going to go over towards A. No way in hell they're going to hit that rotation over towards B. But now he gains all that info, and this round becomes a lot more difficult now with 45 seconds.
I was going to have a chance to make contact here with Shotzzy if he checks his corners fully, and he unfortunately will not. So, no go at that one. And now, all of a sudden, Optic starting to find their mojo on the map. And the reads, I think, just generally as far as what Vegas have wanted to do, you already mentioned it, over towards that statue bomb site. On the offensive side, they've gotten really good reads of how they want to deal with that defensively. And now, all of a sudden, they've gotten a read as firm of Vegas trying to play aggressive on the defense as well.
Yeah, when they try to turn that corner, they're literally set up for that gunfight onto shots. So you're not playing Pred in that close corner. But if you do that setup, you best believe some other teams know exactly what that's going to feel like. As Optic are able to tie the game up, at least in the first place. They're up 4-3. Back on the defensive side they go, and Vegas Legion trying to go back to that earlier attack where they found success with B pressure.
Yeah, well, the stuns that do land on top of Vegas, Pred thinks he maybe has an opportunity to take use of it, but gets shut down mostly off of the overwhelming force that Vegas had on their breakoff. And now patience for the Legion, just wanting to make sure that no one's doing anything dramatic through the A site. They're double enforcing this flank hold before they make likely a commitment over towards B.
Yeah, Kenny's just trying to play the timing, though, to potentially spot a couple players crossing through water, but Vegas Legion have not bit yet. Now they are slowly working their way up through water side. Kenny's not going to get any indication that they're on that side of the map with that nade connecting onto anyone. So that objective is going to get planted, but look at the positioning of Dashi.
He's got to make a play here. Johnny in the corner, not going to be seen, but Attach will take care of the trade. And now it's just the split hit for the side of Optic. Individual players on both sides. Kenny shut down on one side, just up to Shotzi. Better bounce back here in map number 2 compared to what he was able to do in the first, but this is a difficult 1v3. Finesses the movement around the water side bar, but he's got Geo on an absolute crazy heady. No chance whatsoever. We're tied at 4.
Yeah, it's good plays right there from Vegas Legion. That's 2 successful bomb plants over towards B, none over towards A side. So they find that initial first blood, and then they are just waiting to see if Optic Texas is going to try to make up for that kill. But once they realized no one was going on the pinch, no one has been map control, no one's still showing presence over towards B, we will work that objective, get the bomb down, and then trade effectively. Able to tie the game up at 4.
Trends and patterns, though, still continue to shift over the last handful of rounds towards Optic, especially what they've done on offense. Does Vegas supply the right response? Patience over towards B and mid. Trying to get Johnny a little bit closer towards A. He's got an SMG this round, so he's going to be largely playing this cut at the Sky Bridge. Nero over the middle of the map. Also tossing a couple of nades in Texas, but Texas are properly set up for it. Johnny, though, off the flank, does create a bit of chaos here for Optic. They did make a decision, and Shotzi throws a smoke and hits the back of Dashi, but does not help them at all. Johnny finds the kill down low. Now the bomb is down to this 2v2.
Still a lot of time to work with. Don't know if Johnny's going to get the info that is going to be the bomb carrier, but Geo does fall through the middle of the map. So now the young man and Johnny trying to clutch up in the 1v2. Buddy system on the opposite side for Optic Texas, just going together to every situation as they recover that bomb site. Now it's time to work that objective.
Johnny coming back to the fight.
Oh, the timing.
Still has the rival 9. Finds the first, but it's not a clean gunfight. Optic come away with one after, again, I think the chaos that was created by Vegas was strong, but the problem was the defenders from the front side of the site fell too quickly that Johnny just kind of gets isolated and left alone over towards Skybridge.
That's exactly what it is, because once you find that Johnny's in that positioning, he was able to turn it into a 3v3, and then everyone at that point from Vegas Legion were trying to assist him, not leave him out to dry by himself. So they try to apply that pressure through mid connector, and Optic Texas made them pay for it. But Johnny almost secures that round there for Vegas Legion. Now backs against the wall into this round number 10. Optic at game point. All out aggression through the middle of the map.
Yeah, we're going to get ourselves a bloodbath here, although no one from Optic is watching the U-Haul. I mean, everyone's so focused on seeing if there was going to be a cut over towards the site that no one looked on the other side of U-Haul, maybe thinking that their defensive nades were going to hold it back. That's not the case. Kenny trying to get the one off the exit, does take down Nero, but nothing further, and we got around 11 all of a sudden.
That's just a complete blind counter right there, Alan. We're talking about, all right, we're going right up the middle. Also, we were ready for the push to come in towards A, but Vegas Legion, they went right up the middle and went through mid connector, and with those stuns connecting the way that they did, those are just a bunch of easy kills that they found right off the rip of that round.
Iceman on our
team. Hit that rotation over towards B, get it down. 1v3, you just gotta make sure Kenny doesn't make a miracle happen, but here we go, round 11. All tied up at first blood as well, 5-5.
Yep. And for the most part, both teams have converted nicely on their first blood, save just the 2 individual rounds for one for either team. But Optic on the offense. Got to go back to what seems to be their tried and true. Hits over towards A. This time, no defenders on site for Vegas. They've tried this a couple times before. Johnny's been smoked on this angle once, but he does have a little bit of help from Nero, and this time it's just all about read the information and see if we can contest this site from afar.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is that no one showing presence over towards that A site. You were banking on those tacks to play a big part in this round. but nothing is at least able to connect. And Kenny, unfortunately, might have just got some bad COD timing, or it could work out in his favor.
Yeah, it's really which side does the wind blow here, because he's going to find himself behind Nero. Quick trade, not fully there. Kenny gets an extra lease on life, at least for a little while. He also can transmit that there are at least 2 Vegas Legion members playing on the flank. So Dashy,
let's go, Dashy!
And Dashy gets himself another double.
What'd I say? We got
Just
Iceman on our
Johnny
fucking team.
1v3.
Come on now.
Fred, topside bar.
Johnny ain't doing
free.
shit.
No,
Johnny
the biggest
ain't
issue
doing
here is
shit.
how do you deal with Dashy, who's going to be
Johnny
playing
ain't
this,
doing
you would
shit.
think,
Not
largely
against
from
Dashy.
security
Wow, Dashy gonna
side.
pick his bitch ass off either way.
Here's the reload.
What'd I say?
And
What'd I
the
say? I
re-attack.
fucking know it, bro. Like, it's Dashy. Come on now.
The kill, and it's 3 in the
Come
round
for it, like,
Dashy.
bro.
Credit to Kenny for at least the intel
Come on
assist.
now. Like,
And Optic, deep
fuck
side
outta here.
relief from Pred.
fucking
Sneak out
Iceman.
around
Oh, watch
11
out.
winner.
You might turn that to ice, my brother. Watch out. Watch out drinking that water. You might turn it to ice. Just saying.
Texas to walk away with a clutch in the round 11. Just like Kenny every single time. He was always in one of those situations being that island player where he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's players from Vegas Legion all around him, but he was just able to slip behind enemy lines every single time that he needed to. He finds that initial kill, gives the information to Dashy that there's also 2 or more players coming on that flank, and then that allows Dashy to just activate takeover. He's the most clutch player that we have throughout the league whenever it's him by himself, but when he's getting those comms from his teammates, he's able to close out that game with 3 in that final round. Optic Texas tied the series up at 1. Not as clean as you wanted to, but you got the job done.
Yeah, on a map that they haven't played a bunch, I think there are definitely moments that you can look at for both teams and kind of walk away pretty okay with. Obviously, for Vegas, it's going to feel like a missed opportunity to take Optic to 11 and not find a way to win, especially considering how that last round unfolded. But we got a high-rise control, and then Vegas have their hardpoint selection of the Vista hardpoint still yet to come. So opportunities for Legion to keep this thing going, but for Optic, trying to look for a little bit of a bounce back from map number 1. We'll see how things unfold on high-rise when we come back right after this.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Scuff Gaming is doing an ultimate giveaway where you and a friend can win a chance to go to COD Champs this year. The giveaway includes 2 VIP tickets, travel expenses, and more. To enter, scan the QR code on the page or go to scuff.co/CDL and enter your email. Terms and conditions apply.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
Welcome back to our last matchup of the weekend. Optic taking on Vegas, and a 1-1 map count where Vegas fans are thrilled to have snapped the big winning streak that Optic put together on Subbase of all things, but gonna be a bit of a miss not having the round 11 on the 6-star search go their way. But now everything starts to go over. That caption too much. Towards this control, we talk a lot about the life manipulation, but flat out, Optic have been great at finding objective success on control.
Oh yeah, Dashy and Kenny sitting at number 1 and number 2. Those guys are soaking up. Hill time, doesn't matter what it is. Tick time is because the SMGs are always being the aggressors, always trying to be pushed out. At least you got some players that are always thinking about that objective in Dashy and Kenny. We're now going into a high-rise control. This is where Optic Texas want to try to expand their map pool in this control game mode. They love themselves some invasion. They love themselves some Karachi, but they don't play really a lot of Karachi because a lot of teams do not want to square up with them on that map. So you're just going to try to add high-rise to the pool where they are great on both sides. The biggest thing that Vegas have to focus on here is keeping up with the slaying, because Optic Texas, they outslay on the defensive side, but on the attacking side, they only get outslayed by 0.3 kills. That's half of a kill. So you have to make sure the guns are firing the same way they were in map 1 if you're Vegas.
Well, opening nades will land. Shotzi the first one to fall. And for Optic, you kind of saw the stat there on the macro side for the team. They have not won a round 5 on this map. That results in actually 3 different map losses since stage 3 has started for them on this map. So trying to go up icy in round 5 has been one of the reasons why this map has not been necessarily a full-on go-to. But hey, already a great start to this opening defense considering the early action from Vegas. No ticks to speak of yet for the Legion.
Yeah, Vegas Legion are just now working out of their spawn because Optic Texas are able to reinforce when they need to. But attach finding a double now allows his teammates another opportunity to work their way out of spawn. Fred now with the timing to potentially find a kill onto Geo. He's able to find it, but now you allow Vegas Legion to take B street control, slowly work up that progression at B.
Yeah, the thing is, this route from Pred could cut off a lot of these offensive reinforcements, and so far it has. Oh, just needed one more shot, but his teammates will get the trade, no worries. 1 tick of progress has been earned, but nothing more at the moment. Vegas will walk their way out of spawn, having found the trade onto Kenny, but still a lot of work to be done here for the Legion to try to stop this clock and get some more progress done.
Yeah, and they only have 30 seconds to do so. Shachi's just trying to at least spot a couple players, make sure no one slips on by. And now it's time to hit that go button. Gonna put himself behind enemy lines, gonna catch Johnny off guard, attach right off the spawn, knows that Shotzi is gonna be prepared for that gunfight. But the repositioning just way too much. He's just hoping that his teammates outside of the map can try to pause that game clock.
And so far, everything looking good for Optic. This is what you don't want to see if you're a Vegas fan. This is what they often will do on Shotzi. Just maybe a bullet away from finding kill number 5, but just 1 tick of progress locked. Optic will be very happy about how that opening defense went.
Yeah, that's perfect. You only allow 1 segment to get away from you.
The boys are too good.
Now you can make that up with these on your attacking rounds because they are 3rd overall on this map at average ticks on the attacking side. A lot of that is going to be due to Dashy and Kenny, but these guys are just laughing. They're having a good time, even though the series is tied at 1.
Convincing start. And hey, the vibes stay high, it feels like all the time, especially coming off of a major championship in the form of which you were able to win that grand finals. And we kind of talk about this, not to just throw it out there lightly. I mean, for Optic, these are extra reps. You know, I don't think any of the top, especially 3 teams, are really giving a darn hoot about who finishes 5th through 8. This is all about making sure that you're staying polished and you're staying clean, and so far, so good. This opening offense also good looks over towards B. Geo seen at immense range, but Shotzi does get taken down. Johnny almost able to turn that into a double, but Optic still stay healthy on the zone with Dashy involved.
Yeah, they're already on this B point. They already have a lot of B street control, and they already completed that first segment at B. So you tied it up in that column, but they are slowly working at that progression on the 2nd tick now. Couple kills going in favor of Vegas Legion, though. Now Dashy's the soul man here on the point. He is going to fall, and this is the opportunity where Vegas Legion can right the wrongs of the previous round.
Clean stuff. They deplete almost the entire 2nd tick of progress. Trophy systems are also down to keep this defensive line forward. Johnny watching the big cross, able to see Pred through the fences, but cannot finish the kill. Optic struggle, but they get themselves out of spawn. And then that elimination onto Johnny may open the floodgates to get back over towards B again. Nero is so deep and far away from this hit that it really has to come down to Geo to hold this, and that won't work out. So now you got 1 member on, They get a second with one more joining, and that's going to be not just the second tick of progress, that's likely the entire B zone unless some of these nades land.
And that's what makes Optic Texas different than any other team on this attacking side. It's that it only takes them one opportunity when they go forward there to get out of their spawn, and they take full advantage of it. They're able to extend the time, get the final 2 seconds to close out that B point. And now you put yourself in a heavy advantage on this map with a couple kills already going in their favor. Kenny and Dashy combined for 2. Now Shotzi, your opportunity for some spawn kills.
Here we go again. Shotzi trying to get the read on where these spawners are coming. Attach will find it before any damage can be dealt. 16 plays 14. Life advantage to Vegas. Optic trying to find some control over towards Blue. Dashy desperately trying to hold on to his life in the previously captured B zone. The Vegas are just kind of more focused on what's coming from the front at the moment. They have actually a little bit lost track of where all Optic are. That's going to be essentially a full team wipe. Gio's so far out of the picture, he really has to wait for help. And oh, Shotzi nearly takes him out. And I believe the trophy system deleting a nade expires the propane tank, and that results in a double. And Vegas now 12-8 in lives with full control of the map.
Yeah, the propane is always going to play a part. Even if an update comes in and they say high-rise propanes are not going to play that big of a situation through these rounds, somehow, some way, it's able to find a double. All of Optic Texas now coming off the respawn. You give up full map control to Vegas Legion. 12-7 in lives remaining, and you can already see Gio working behind enemy lines.
And he will find Shotzi up top, who was going to be the observer over the top of that A zone, pending Optic could get there in the first place. Pred and Dashing are the last ones left. A couple of decent kills keep maybe one last dire hope alive for Optic. Nero, the cutoff man, not going to find the kill. Johnny waiting for his time, and he reads it pretty darn perfectly. 8 plays 2. Shotzi seen over towards top B propane. And the question mark will be, where is Pred? And there he is. Not much of a chance for him to get back over towards the zone, but a little bit more damage towards lives, I guess. And of course, the 2-tick progression advantage that Optic were able to earn.
Yeah, thankfully Vegas Legion played a 5v4 in that round because the propane had a clutch double to allow them to walk away with this defensive win. Because now they have 2 segments to make up for, but here goes the replay on this trophy. Propane. Yep, the trophy system definitely does stop it because a couple attacks get thrown off the respawns, and you just don't expect that if you are Optic. The fact that Pred stays alive in that scenario as well, right next to the propane, is mind-boggling.
I just can't believe that it didn't look like it was smoking or anything. It just the trophy system did that much damage, I guess.
Yeah.
Leave your opinions in the YouTube chat. First blood good for Johnny. Nero eyes towards A here, and he does find Kenny. So the clock will stall. Focus onto A for Vegas. A little bounce behind for Gio. Does he get a read onto Dashy? Sure does with that elimination. With Dashy, a little turn and burn drop shot reduces the play to Vegas to really only be Nero, who's gotten towards A windows.
Yeah, Nero's the only guy out. Unfortunately, he's now gonna fall. So all of Vegas Legion now stuck back in their spawn again. Gotta check every corner on your way on out. And it's just not going to be easy because Optic have all the crossfires set up. And Johnny finding that double. Narrow right off the respawn, at least able to 5-1. Vegas Legion, another opportunity already working out of their base.
Kenny trying to get the low ground. Will come behind this play over towards bottom blue. Split focus for Vegas, by the way. Attach was looking over towards B. And so now all of a sudden, just as quickly as Vegas were able to turn things in their favor, Optic win every single individual gunfight, and they're back to within the spawn windows of Vegas. Decent kills. I mean, game of tug of war here. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. You find success, we find success. Back and forth we go, but the time is becoming an issue here for Vegas' offense.
Yeah, especially because they're applying a lot of pressure over towards that A Street side. It's not going to be easy because you know the attacks right off the respawn are going to be chucked over towards this propane area. You slowly have to work your way over towards B. You just don't have any B Street control. Finally, Johnny and Attach do combine for 2, but Pred and Kenny, they combine for 2 of their own to maintain the map control here for Optic Texas. You have Johnny, who's so far pushed out, but that objective is not getting done, and that's going to lead to 1 segment again for Vegas Legion. Optic Texas in the full advantage again.
What the fuck Johnny doing?
I mean, they don't have to do anything in this next offense if they didn't want to, and still find themselves on the round 5 defense here. So really clean here from Optic. But maybe the only lingering stat against them at the moment is that fact that they are 0-5 in round 5s. 3 of those have been recent as of the major 3 qualifiers. So for Optic, see if you can get the job done here, I'd say.
Yeah, that requires them to lose a defensive side where they've only given up 2 segments. I think they're feeling good even if it gets to round number 5. But obviously you don't want to get there. You want to try to avoid that. You don't have any segments to play for. You're just going to try to get the win here. They show all out aggression. The over through bottom blue. Trophy systems are down. None of the attacks are going to hit for Vegas Legion. So that first segment already in.
Yeah, and Gio is just hopping, seeing how many members are actually here. Is this a little bit of a fake? Not quite. And nice little movement from Attach. Finds himself, too. Clears off the pressure on A, but the first tick of progress has already been completed. Help from Nero over the middle of the map. Downtime bottom blue. That will work out, and Vegas defensively start to make their move forward. Pred will see one on the cross, waiting for his prime opportunity to try to come behind this play. Johnny, though, similar drop shot that we saw from Dashy, but there is at least a trade from Shotzi, and Optic can still work their way out of spawn, at least until Nero scales forward, finds himself 2, and now Vegas are right at your spawn windows again.
Oh, yeah, and if you are Vegas Legion, you have to try to combine a couple kills together. You can earn that cruise missile going forward. So that can play a big part on your next attacking round. Just don't give Optic any breathing room, and that's exactly what Gio is doing. Nero finds one on the Dashi. That's another 3 dead. Gio's just been holding down top heli the whole time. Fortunately, he is going to fall, but Nero now finds himself on 5 in a row.
He needs to get out and just find one more elimination. That is the only game plan at the moment for Vegas. Nero holds onto the corner. Shotzi seen, dealt with, and there's the extra cruise missile. 21 and 14, by the way, for Nero. Don't mean to make that sound so casual. He has been frying this map. And with the cruise missile now earned, Vegas, after a dominating defense to this point, I'm sure are feeling pretty decent about their opportunity to possibly get their offense going a little bit more. But this round not done yet. You got Pred on the zone. Nero from behind will get to kill number 7. And you'll also stop the second tick of progress from coming through. 20 plays 9. Optic trying to stay alive on the B zone, but will be bounced off. And it'll only be a matter of time here before we get to round 5 with the cruise missile for Vegas.
Yep, that's the biggest thing now. Is that Vegas Legion have a cruiser missile to work with on their attacking side. So good job from them to not allow any segments, because those don't even matter anymore. You have to figure out how you're going to get these objectives done. And I think if you are a Vegas Legion, it has to be all out pressure over towards B Street. They love right off the respawn, showing presence at bottom blue, trying to push out towards A to be a nuisance. But every single time Optic Texas find a couple kills over towards B Street, they turn their focus over towards blue, and then a 4 dead happens. You cannot afford that to be here for Vegas Legion. You have to find success early on at that B Street.
Need something somewhere. And I think you're absolutely right when it comes down to, let's concentrate our efforts on one zone, and maybe not even just one zone, just one area. Get some level of control before we even hit onto these zones, and there will be full focus over towards this B zone. Nero gonna hop right on into the mix. Gio able to find the first onto Shotzi. Did they expect Dashy around the back though? They sure don't. First kill good for Dashy. Kenny from the front, good for another. Nero still keeping the streak alive, and the help from Vegas is decent. Can they stay on the zone though? That's the question. And Dashy continues just to do it all himself until Gio comes off spawn. And now you can reinforce the trophies. And Nero can keep on freaking frying. 25 and 14. Here comes the help onto the B zone.
That's Nero playing the hero right now for Vegas Legion. First segment already going to be done. But he's not in an opportunity to call in that cruiser, so he's more focused on keeping the guns hot. Unfortunately, the beat down, the hip fire, nothing was going to connect onto Pred. You definitely want that one back, but they are working a progression on both points. Second segment about to be complete at B, and the first one at A.
Uh-oh, here we go. Third tick of progress. Looking good on the B zone. The stack is in. They're going to get this quickly. You still have the cruise missile here. You still have Johnny on A. Here comes the cruise missile down. Optic will not be allowed to come contest this immediately. They're still going to try to commit to it, though. Gunfights start to go the way of Vegas. They know where Dashy is. Johnny pushes out for the kill. There's going to be a stack here for Vegas. Second tick of progress is in. All 4 members are on. Can anyone from Optic get here in time? No, they cannot. And the round 5 curse for Optic on high rise continues, and Vegas steal away a map right under the nose of Optic.
Yeah, everything I said in that previous round about it not happening in Optic Texas. You're in the most ideal situation. You are on defense on high rise. You did everything on your defensive side, even on your attacking side, gaining the segments to put yourself on the defense in the round number 5. But Vegas Legion changed up the play call in that final round. Everyone's showing presence over towards B Street. Nero's the only guy through top mid, and he was able to slip behind to put himself right through the middle of the map at that B point, continue that streak at 10 before he did get shut down. But that was just way too much pressure, way too much aggression for Vegas Legion to start it off, and Optic Texas just couldn't get a read on it. They could not stand their ground on their setup. And Vegas Legion get it done. Like, that one's got to come back to bite you. Optic Texas, all right. That's not what you wanted. You wanted to walk away with this W to find yourself up 2-1. But now Vegas Legion, who are fighting for everything, map count, points in the CDL to try to make it a chance. They are up 2-1 in this series versus our major 3 champions.
Unreal stuff. Nero gets 29, and if I did the math right quickly, between the offensive and defensive kills, I'm pretty sure Gio had 27. And of course, Johnny, I think, is the one left alive on A by himself. While the cruise missile's getting called and the 3-stack happens over towards B, he also comes away with, I think, 3 or 4 in a row. It's just when you need him the most, Vegas continue to turn up. What a display, though, from Nero. After a very miserable search and destroy, he says, brothers, I got you. The cruise missile gets earned. He goes on double-digit streaks. You thought for a second maybe it wasn't going to end until the beatdown just a little bit too wide. But it's just simply put, this play with the stack immediately followed up with the kills from Johnny lead to a 4-man stack. GG go next. Holy smokes.
And that is the first time I think I've ever seen Optic Texas be negative on a defensive side and in control in general. Because one thing that they're always great at is finding their kills. But based off of what we saw in map number 1, it's the same thing here in map number 3. The only player positive is Dashy at 19 and 18. But that's not going to cut it, man. You need your ARs. You need everyone to be firing on all cylinders. And unfortunately now they find themselves down 2-1 in this series, going into a Vista HP where this is Vegas Legion's pick. This is going to be tough.
Yeah. I mean, the history for Vista has not necessarily been kind towards Optic, at least just generally speaking. Again, the amount of play times is relatively low. Can't look at it with too much concern, I would say. But, I mean, it's just the simple fact of what the recency looks like for this Vegas squad. They have looked undeniably better. Johnny has been fitting the mold exactly the way that they were looking at for Purge initially, a seam second. Johnny's fit that slot, it looks like seamlessly, and now we're starting to see the full potential of this Vegas team come to life. Regardless of, you know, I think there's gonna be a lot of people out there like Optic trying things, and sure, there is a level of that, but you can't take away with how good Vegas have looked at this point.
Not at all, because they only played 3 matches together with this team. So obviously the first one they bounced together versus Boston. You fall short versus Miami at the major to get eliminated from that tournament. You come back home, you go up against a top 3 squad in Toronto, who are a top 3 squad for a reason. So Vegas Legion still had to work on their practice, try to iron out everything that was costing them in certain situations. And right now in this series versus Optic Texas, even though they're still smiling, that's not, you want to be smiling in this situation. Vegas Legion, they're coming to play. You got to be ready for this map number 4.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been one hell of a series to this point. For all, I think, the right reasons if you're just a general enjoyer and enthusiast of Call of Duty, but I mean, the drama that starts to kick up. We talked about this, at least you and I, when we were sitting in the green room. Every match is going to feel like a must-win for these teams that are on the bubble. And to be able to take 10 points at the hands of playing up against a top 4 team feels like you stole one away from the rest of the league. So here's our look at Vista. Talking about, again, this Optic team, not a ton of play time on it, but the times that they have blown out a couple of teams. I think the one that stands out in everyone's mind is that 250-86 on the Thieves, but the recency of them playing against Atlanta has a loss, but still, they play the map well. Vegas, this is their first try of it with this roster, though.
Yeah, this was going to be fun, man, because we saw it in map number 1. What they were ahead of is being ahead of those rotations every single time. So at least they're still strong in that category. But you have to find success also in breaks. Sitting at 12th overall is not going to cut it. But at least you spawn on the preferred side going into this P1. Just got to make these gunfights go in your favor. And Nero, not slowing down, finds a double. And already into the HP is Vegas.
And there's a lot of, I think, anticipation and potential excitement behind what Johnny and Nero can do as a sub-duo.
Oh, yeah.
It just frees up Attach and Geo to be like, all right, boys, you want to go hit this? Sure, we'll watch everything else. And the opener here for Vegas, pretty darn good. Couple of decent trades for Optic. They've mitigated some of the early time, but this second set of gunfights has been good. And now it's just down to, do they get the read onto Dashy? Geo for 3 in a row sure does. And Vegas will be good for the time, largely through P1. And look at the mini-map. Nero's already hit rotation.
Yeah, they already win the rotation, but Optic Texas, they're rotating on the complete opposite side of the map, trying to overextend their way up through P3 side. Dashy and Shotzi combined for 2. Still trying to keep it stagnant through this mid P1, but now you're forced to break in towards Vegas Legion setup here at this P2 HP. You have Optic Texas not having the prepared spawns, but you do have Kenny trying to set up a route.
Yeah, this is individual plays right now. Nero just hoping he can get himself a 1-for-1, and he does better than that. Finds the kill, steps away, and allows the rest of Vegas to find a full team wipe. Trophy Systems now reinforcing the defense of this hill, and Attach looking to stop maybe early rotators. Almost catches one, not quite to beat. Optic looking to follow up and hit this on both sides, but honestly speaking, this is coming up completely empty, and Vegas are gonna find free scrap time, and they will control rotation to P3.
Yeah, I think Optic Texas is just playing a lot of individual COD right now. We're not simply outclassing you. That's another 4 dead. That's been 3 4 deads at one hill. You can just tell Optic Texas are not in sync right now, and Vegas Legion are taking full advantage of it.
A moment of reprieve here for Optic. Making some success happen on the catwalk side. Pred's going to take the route down low, met by Nero, but not enough to find the kill. So Gio has to try to keep his life a little while longer. Vegas split spawns, but kills coming through individually across the map. It's Attach who's able to find a couple, keep himself alive, and maybe have hopes to block spawns, but Kenny gets the trade off screen. Gio will fall inside the hard point, and Optic will get nearly a full flip.
Yeah, that's a big break right there coming from Optic. Cannot allow this score to get away from you the way that map number 1 did, but if you're Vegas Legion, you already cut your losses. 2 players off the rotation in towards Graffiti are going to have their hands full because Optic Texas are surrounding them. Kenny and Shotzi take down both of those players, so they have an opportunity now to chain that P2 to the P4 and potentially take the lead.
Semtex will land from Johnny's hands onto Shotzi, but he'll stay alive. Hit through the old time on the way for Vegas. Dashy, the last one standing. Kenny at range, trying to pick up his cross as best as humanly possible. Pistol off for Dashy. Lots of connections, but not a full kill. Pred stepping back in, makes good on the damage dealt by Dashy. Plus the follow-up from Shotzi. Here we go. Optic.
There we go, boys. There we fucking go.
Here on this left side
go.
minimap hold, and they're finding every single kill. Shotzi, Pred, putting it all together.
And they know that the close ones are going to be in because Dashy, he was blocking that front side spawn for P4. So they got Arena where the pressure from Vegas Legion was going to be approached on. But now with Optic still in control of the spawns, at least the hill for now. Vegas Legion, they bombard their way all through that P3 hill, able to flip the spawns right on back, and this is still a good 25 seconds they can try to fight for.
Yeah, for the moment, Vegas just trying to keep the hardpoint neutral. Shotzi jumping on in, Kenny watching from overhead, and now jumps in his own right. Turns, finds the kill onto Attach, and that will confirm the scrap time. And with that being largely held all the way through, if it is, it'll be a lead swap as well. Optic really starting to turn up here in these last 2 hills.
Exactly what they needed to do to get themselves back into this game. Now Vegas Legion again off the rotation are fully going to be set up. You have everyone watching a proper angle, but Attach falling in his position now gives an opportunity for Kenny to potentially set up that pinch. He allows Preds to find that kill, and now all of Vegas Legion are not on the preferred side, but they are still holding on to the hill.
Yeah, just Dashy has to play his life as much as he possibly can. Follow up good from Nero, takes care of him quickly. Not going to be able to turn that into a double. Gio just getting bombarded by stuns and nades. Johnny also feeling the effect of a lot of that incoming utility, and that will be largely a full clear here from Texas. Just have to deal with Gio. A much better series from him to this point, but this is going to be just too much for him to deal with. An optical secure break, still 23 seconds to fight for.
And now if you're Vegas Legion, you have to try to cut your losses because you know how impactful that P5 to P1 chain can be. So a route early on trying to be hit by Attach, but he gets killed by the player and Kenny coming off of the respawn. So all your bases again covered for Optic Texas. Still a 20-point difference in this map number 4. But if you are Vegas Legion, you can't attach from the bridge side. Someone has to try to flip. You have to try to hit a route.
Good damage from Attach, though. Just pelting the members of Optic inside of P1. Long route from Johnny, as you called. Gio waiting for the timing to hit from the front, and here comes the flood. Nero able to find one through the mid-map, and now everyone can just dive on into the hard point. That is just such a freaking good setup, and the timing is perfect. This Vegas team looks brand spanking new.
Unfortunately, the spawns do not flip, so Optic Texas still giving themselves another opportunity to break their way in towards P1. You have top bit of control, you just got to get past Gio. Dashy there for the effective trade. And now it's Nero again, trying to get it done. Unfortunate team kill onto Johnny with that trophy system, but he's still not going to slow down, even finds it with the Renetti before dropping.
Now Shotzi holds his life. Vegas still in the hard point for this time being. Optic working on it, though, and Shotzi, his patience will pan out. Johnny looking for something through the catwalk side, gets stunned off the jump, though, so now he's going to just default to playing for the long wrap. Kind of giving whatever he possibly can, considering the circumstances. But Optic will have a lot of freedom and a huge buffer around this P2 hard point.
And they're going to have an opportunity now to finally get a lead change. As Optic Texas is now in full control of this P2. Vegas Legion, your turn again. Someone to try to make an opening happen. Geo through the middle of the map, unfortunately does get cut down. Shotzzy watching the flank, takes down Attach. Dashy from the front end takes down Narrow, and that's a clean 3 dead. Final player is Johnny. He falls, and Optic Texas hold on to the first bush.
Yeah, Vegas getting staggered a bit. Optic starting to put it together as we jump over to an Optic Texas. Listen in.
Look, you guys want me to watch out pillars? Watch out their middle as well.
I have the mid.
Get a picture spot. I spawn out, guys.
Pass this side, dead.
Tell me, cat, Johnny, not weak. Watch out. Nice, Gio, last guy, Good job. Nice, good shit, bro. What you gonna do, Brandon? We're coming right, look at me. I'm gonna hit lower. We're playing through right, bro. Jack cut behind us, that's big.
Hey, you can.
Hit the lower to me. No. There's spike spawn on these kills. Hit the lower to me.
Cutting vines.
One shot back, attach. He's lower, one shot, attach. He's in the back. They're not even on time.
I can do pillars.
One guy's back steps. He's back behind the wall. Don't trap me behind the wall, bro.
I hear you.
Nade him. He's naded, one shot.
I'm waiting for him. He's in that. Yes, Trevi now.
Steps. Absolute on time, Jet.
One's late, bro. Near on the back.
Absolute G on time.
Live. There you go. Watch out, pitch left, bro. Lucky. They got mid or no?
He's at the steps.
He's no mid. Johnny, weak. Capture Johnny. Nice hit. Johnny,
he's behind the bar right now.
Last two down.
I'm standing on time. Last time.
They're not flood pillars. They're not flood pillars.
I can play for flip here.
Alright, that's fine.
I'm playing low up.
Pillars on a nade. I'm relative, Brandon.
Pillars, Brandon. Back steps.
I have back right. What's pillars though, pillars?
I'm sliding up pillars.
You should be sliding out.
This guy low's not down, bro.
You went back six steps.
Hey, one's two in the back of me, bro.
Lines?
Back.
One's back right.
One spot, you keep pitch right.
Have a low.
We got pitch rails. In the back, bro. Going low, art, Nero. Nice. Nero's back right, Nero. They're still spawning there. Listen, they're all spawning there still. Oh, they're spawning. They might spawn out. Jump hills. I'm in towers. I'm front towers there. Just give me a second.
Nothing back secret. I'm with you. Let's try this out.
What's back right time? Back time. In front of me.
You can repeat the back.
One shot, dude. Pillars. Nice, they're back. And on top.
Absolute
Nice. Nice shot. They're in front of you. Bot top.
I'm gonna go tower.
I can push. I'm down. Johnny. One shot down. After down. Or Johnny. He's one shot. Absolute front down.
I'm making a play. One more mid, okay?
I'm down. They're down.
I'm doing it, bro. We're good. One more mid. Last guy.
Last guy near.
He was mid. He's house I'm pretty sure.
Okay, he could have pitched in.
That's him. He's really good. He's hitting it. Pillars.
Pillars?
I'm holding top pillars.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the awareness for Optic on this push through 3 into 4 has been solid, and Pred hitting these small little routes, going completely unguarded. Vegas have been having a hard time tracking him down, looking for kill number 6 for the Cruise shut down. A lifeline for Vegas, but it's going to feel desperate.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough situation now because now you're going into this P5. You're currently down by 50. You have to make this hold count, and for a lot of time as well. And they're putting themselves in a really good setup so far. You have all the P1 control. You add the overextension as well. So that's 3 dead. Make it all 4. Optic Tex, that first push gets shut down. And Vegas Legion continue to run up that score.
Shotzzy trying to run into the hard point, though. Catches one, gets out of there. Geo with the trade, but here come the rest of Optic. Need help from Attach from up high. Pred down low, trying to work the hard point. Does well. But Vegas have numbers to try to work their way back in. Again, just trying to utilize this top catwalk as best as possible, but every second is becoming a dangerous one for Vegas. Pred dealt with Dashy, the last one left alive, but he's far out. Geo gets the damage done, and Dashy just has to hit the deck, and that'll be extra time for Vegas to get over 200 points.
Now, if you are Optic Texas, you got to give up this time. You got to make sure no one from Vegas Legion is going to be able to slip behind enemy lines and potentially flip these spawns.
Oh my God, Bruce!
That's exactly what Johnny is trying to do, but Dashy with the beams, all headshots. Guy basically is using a sniper with that MCW after that buff. But Optic Texas there into this P1. Only 15 seconds until they force game 5.
Bruce goes Goliath mode. Still not done. Dashy on
fucking
6
goal,
in a
Dashy.
row. How has he been able to finesse this? Looking for kill number 7. Stun him, nade him, do whatever you want. He's still alive. Trophy system back in, but Vegas, they get the white.
Nah,
bro,
don't hit me with the Bruce. Y'all were just beat sucking. Good fucking shit, boys. Good fucking shit. And we got Iceman fucking round 5. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Fuck out of here with that Bruce shit. I was reading the fucking group chat, motherfucker.
Obviously, you don't want these.
Go by the face pack. Go by the face pack.
Vegas Legion, they are fighting.
I gotta go take a piss.
At least Optic Texas, they could rely on that P3 to P4 chain because that's exactly what kept them in this game. First rotation, that's how they got back into it. Second rotation, that's how they grew themselves such a great lead, to where they can keep P5 a little bit scrappy. But when you need someone to call game, you ask Dashy, who he simply does not miss bullets. He's happy as hell that MCW buff came in. But then the closing moments, that was Kenny's opportunity to find 3. Close out this map number 4, and now go to a game 5 in Karachi Search and Destroy. Well, I know Optic Texas, they're feeling themselves because Karachi has always been a great search and destroy for them, but they haven't played it in quite some time. And then the Optic Texas, they're feeling themselves because Karachi has always been a great search and destroy for them, but they haven't played it in quite some time. And then the opposite side for Vegas Legion, they have yet to spawn on Karachi Search and Destroy with this squad. So game 5 should be really fun.
Should be a really good one. I don't know if we're going to get the last 20 seconds or so of what just happened on that Vista hardpoint, but I mean, that is immaculate from Dashy. The 2 gunfights he takes over the top of P5 at range, at low HP, turns that into rotation win into P1, and then pistol control at the desk. That's next level gameplay. And of course, Kenny with the exclamation point to finish. But still, the fact of the matter is, we have to go 5. I mean, not a lot of people had this one out there. And a Karachi search.
Freddy, you is not slick. After Zay said that shit, you right away without skipping a beat. Oh, by the optic pack.
Fun, man. I can't wait to get
the face pack.
Search and destroy, because it's going to be all about the playmakers. Shotzzy v Johnny. Who's going to be more aggressive up to the map? Can't wait for that game 5 to be in our hands.
It's going to be a good one. Optic have not played it in a while. Last time they did, it was a loss to Toronto.
Yep.
So they've got some work to be done. Again, testing the search and destroy map pool just a touch. Will that give Vegas a chance to steal away 10 points, it's going to feel like, from the rest of the teams on the bubble? We'll find out with Karachi waiting for us in map 5.
This is what happened, right? Zay says, not gonna lie, Plat is easy as fuck. And then he goes, Optic just got fucked. Right after that, Freddy, your ass goes, bottled by the Atlanta face pack, CDL pack. Zay goes, on God. Like, what?
Cuts deep charm, 2 calling cards, 2 emblems, and 2 weapon stickers. Use these items in both Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty Warzone. Available in store now using Call of Duty points.
Start the season strong with the Call of Duty League Pack. Grab yourself the CDL Operator, Weapon Blueprint, and so much more.
Maybe
Check
I'm
out
tripping.
The Call of Duty store in-game now.
This nigga put all cap. Walaki, bro. Walaki. Keep it a buck, though. Keep it a buck. If I didn't know you were already planning on doing it, and you sent that right after Zay just said fucking Optic got slammed, tell me that doesn't look like you me sucking. There's no way, bro. It was 115 to 135 when I joined. All right, Sherlock Holmes, you ain't got to the fuck. We got Iceman though. We got Iceman. I believe in Iceman, and he was turned up at the end of that.
Welcome back to Optic versus Vegas. Certified banger. No one had that on their schedule, I don't think. But here is the final moment where Dashy, I don't know how he gets the kills that he does from that position. And then off the regen, how about a couple more? Reads the shadow for the pistol.
Wait, that didn't sound right.
He's good for another trade. And then, of course, Kenny puts it away here, Jay.
Yeah, Kenny puts it away, but
that did not sound right.
The fact that he's able to walk in with the FCW, find a couple kills, not even need to invest that cruiser missile because you know the game was very down to the wire. He's always going to get it done with the gunny. Then you allow your second AR player in Kenny to call game with the final 3. But that all falls into the hands of Dashy. If Dashy falls without finding at least one, well, he found one of those kills. If he doesn't find the second onto Geo, then it's the numbers advantage in favor of Vegas. They're going to win the rotation over towards P1. Gets a lot more scary. But the fact that this young man shoots the way that he does, he peels Optic out of certain scenarios, and that was one right there on full display. But this series is yet to be over. Into the game 5 we go, where said it before the break, Vegas Legion have yet to play this with this roster, and Optic Techs, they haven't played this map in a really long time.
Because you're after the high-rise control.
To think that
you're talking about the round 5 high-rise control? That's what he's talking about?
We'll say the first 3 months
round 5.
The Hill Kit into the
acting like they got fucking obliterated. Round 5. All right.
Ooh, late nade just kind of trickles over towards Tire's
now we know why
side.
he's the worst one on the team.
Up onto Kenny, but Shotzi still gets the top third and finds first blood onto Johnny.
Yeah, it's a big kill onto Johnny. He was trying to make an individual play. Take a page out of Shotzi's book to get behind enemy lines in the first 15 seconds, but first blood in favor of Optic. Kenny finds a second Geo there for the trade, but numbers advantage now allows you to work this objective.
Should be good for a plant. Nero looking to make a play, gets the smoke out, tries to cut through, does not find the kill. Oh, and the bomb gets planted, and more importantly, another kill's been tallied behind this. Heck of a try from Nero, but yeah, after the first blood, Optic just do not give away the high ground whatsoever.
And I love how they didn't show presence through the middle of the map as well. They waited out the nades over towards that coop side, even though Kenny did catch one to the chin.
Excuse me.
You're just thinking right there, if you're Vegas, no presence through mid. The nades are not connecting over towards B, so they have to potentially be going over towards red. But Shotzi finds that timing onto Johnny for the first blood. Kenny immediately finds that second kill, and then they just keep the numbers in their favor. Once they're invest that smoke grenade, and then doesn't find that kill, yeah, that's what hell looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-man break off here. Everyone in lockstep for Vegas, making their play over towards market side. Lots of nades cinematically shown over the top of the B side, but Fred still gets up the ladder and gets the top third. Unreal stuff, and that's an unreal statistic.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been a year and change. Fred, good information, but can't make use of it for a first blood, but Shotzi deep into your spawn will convert for another first blood.
And now all of Vegas Legion are tracked. You can't try to work back through your spawn. At least you find that kill onto Shotzi, but Dashy and Kenny were at least in a position to watch over his teammates off this rotation. As now they have the numbers advantage. Dashy in that position 2 top red. Should be able to get a little bit of info that this is where the play's coming in.
Well, this is interesting. Nero, the bomb carrier. Oh my God. What? I mean, Attach has him dead to rights. First 3 shots are in and Dashy just blows him out of the water. So now it's all down to Nero once again. First one clean. Second one tallied. Can he step away enough from Dashy? Again, the king of clutch. Top of our clutch leaderboards for 1v1s and 1v2s. And that smoke doesn't fully encompass Nero, but he'll be safe enough to plant.
Yeah, the bomb's going to go down, and Dashy is at least going to be able to spot him off of the exit. So now how does he decide to play this? Nero could not have gone that far away from this site, but the repositioning might be too strong.
Nero, Spidey sense tingling. Yeah, reads it on to Dashy. And a 1 versus 3 for Nero.
What can you say? Can't win all of them.
He should have been dead to rights.
He is human.
In much more anticlimactic fashion. Absolutely smokes Attached, but Nero responds maybe more so. And what a round for Nero.
Yeah, the fact that he's able to find that first kill was easy, but the second kill right here onto Pred. Don't know if he has a Rival 9 or an MCW in hand, but Nero, you can always rely on him to be ready for those gunfights. Clutch is up in the 1v3. He said, Dasher, you're the king of clutch. No, I'm going to strip that away from you here as they tie the game about 1.
We asked the question, this you and I kind of in between each other, how creative was Vegas going to be able to get on a map like Karachi with a new roster?
On God, he ain't. I mean, fuck it.
And we were wondering, would it be Nero or would it be Johnny?
On God, fuck it.
Aggressive, and so far, on a couple of defenses, it's been Johnny. He will find first blood, but does get traded back and forth. We go. Early exchanges give us to an early 2v2.
Yeah, but look at the space that Gio was able to take. He's already working himself behind that top 3-story positioning. And not a single player from Optic Texas are going to be aware of this. So this should be a free kill for Gio. Should be able to put his team in a numbers advantage in the 2v1.
Fuck.
And at the same time, that bomb is going down. You know exactly where that next guy is.
Yeah, Gio not even bothering, though, playing for the high ground. He just wants to join his teammate in Nero. And they're going to try to work this a little bit more together. Trying to isolate the high ground, it looks like, first, which is where Kenny is positioned at the moment. But smoke will come out. Kenny will keep his focus over towards this barrel cross. Has not seen Nero yet.
Fucking shit, Ken.
And Nero gets the read. I don't know if Gio saw him on the hop or not, but another snap comes through, and Nero has been Mr. Game 5 for Vegas.
He's just taking over when his team needs him to the most. He is finding his opportunity to answer the call, as that now puts him on 5 in a row. Big next round coming in for Nero. If he could potentially earn himself that cruise missile. But it was Johnny who starts up with that first blood. You keep it real crazy over towards that B site. And then you allow the rest of Vegas, who were on a 2-2 split on a defensive setup, to reposition their way up to the middle of the map.
But I'm chilling because I'm eating fucking bomb-ass tacos.
The fact that G was able to slip behind enemy lines in that one play. That's what needed to get done for Vegas Legion to now be up 2-1. They're going to lead the objective in the spawn. They're more focused on, can we get Nero this kill?
Yeah, this is all about getting Nero number 6. He sees Shotzi over towards red. No hit markers. Nade not cooked either, so Shotzi should be able to back away from this, no problem. Johnny, though, gets extra forward over towards the apartments. And now all of a sudden, Vegas have some deep mid-map control. And even though you don't get the cruise, hey, you got Johnny in a pivotal spot, and you can use him as a pivot point.
And this is what we talked about before this map started. The playmakers on the side of Vegas Legion, both being the SMG guys, would love to play this Karachi S&D the same exact way. They've been trading effectively in that first blood column. But Johnny now puts his team in the man advantage. Shotzi trying to at least gain the info, but he's going to back down to try to play his life. And he's also able to take down Nero. Big kill.
Yeah, smoke just to keep himself alive a little while longer. Kenny, big 1v1 versus Johnny over towards front shot chops.
Good fucking trades.
Good for one. Pred right there to at least confirm the trade. Shotzi, top high ground, attach in trouble, trying to sneak away. Also gets through over towards Pred. He knows that his lease on life is coming to an end. And, well, rent is collected by Optic. They find the kill, and they counter back. Another 3v4. They've been really solid at least trying to work this in odd man number situations.
Yeah, and that's one of those rounds right there for Vegas Legion. You want that one back. You found that
100%.
first blood. You already put yourself in a position through Fountain. All we have to do is work that objective. But they were just taking too long, and that was due to the fact that Shotzi was jumping up the ladder, showing presence at AC, was a little bit present towards top Fountain as well. He was just all over the map, not allowing that objective to get planted. Unfortunately, Vegas Legion do not earn a cruise missile. They do not find success in that round. So now back to the reset, all tied up at 2.
Johnny's still looking to stay aggressive, though. We'll get over towards the concrete barriers underneath the scaffoldings that be. Gio up top. Oh, he's going to get played out. Yeah, Shotzi, as soon as he gets that information, no worries on that challenge. Now this is a little bit more of a dicey one, as Attach will make sure he can confirm the kill before the smoke gets placed. And Kenny also gets the read on a Johnny who thought about it, but then thought the better of it. Meanwhile, though, again, I mean, this is just LV looking like they're getting a little bit too loosey. Lots of individual pushes coming through, and oh, well, for a time, putting together the individual gunfight wins until Johnny has something to say about it.
Yeah, they had Johnny isolated over towards this bridge side, but no one could effectively trade him. So now Pred, who was the island player that started off,
come on,
unfortunately is left by himself. And Vegas Legion staying strong on the defensive side on the back of Johnny, whose positioning was gained early on when Kenny throws that shoulder. They knew that he had to play over towards that bridge side. They just didn't go for the 2-on-1 chow. They went for both individual gunfights, and Johnny just makes him pay for it. Great shots with that rival on for the first. Hits the reload, catches the timing, knowing that the trade has to be there for Optic Texas to stand a chance. And that young man is making plays happen right there for Vegas Legion to take the advantage back to them.
3-2 tally. Vegas with the bomb now out of spawn, maybe for the first time, looking to not get super aggressive anywhere. Although I say that, and Johnny has already made his way up towards top red by the single window room. Optic close by, timing here, good for Johnny. Now on 3 in a row, first blood once again, but Optic are not moving their defense over. They still have Pred nearby, so they're saying we can still keep 2 members towards B.
Yeah, you gotta still show
fucking serious right now, bro?
But Johnny single-handedly is now going to force a potential rotation to come in for Optic, but they've already gotten to read it. This is where the play is going to come in. You find that kill on to Nero, but now it's Dashy left in the 1v3. Bomb is going to be down at that B site, but this is not going to be easy.
He's been seen and also tagged. Stun will come through, and Vegas will not bother with the chase. They'll just play off the objective and force a clock to be an enemy here for Dashy in this 1v3. Tatch sees him topside red. Johnny catches him with a pistol out. No worries there, and my goodness, Johnny, Nero, both. It starts off with all Nero. Lately, it's been all Johnny. And Vegas find themselves a bit of a cushion now all of a sudden, map 5.
Yeah, that's all an individual play on the hands of Johnny. The fact that he was the island player slowly working his way over towards red side, catches that timing onto Shotzi for that initial kill. But then the snap onto Pred put his team in the heavy advantage in the 4v2. Just makes those plays happen. Now I'm pretty sure he finds himself on 5 in a row. Again in the search and destroy. We're all tied up in that first blood column. But another opportunity where Vegas Legion can try to earn a cruise missile. This time you got to make it count.
Yeah, opening nades for the defense of Vegas, all over towards market. Optic throwing some of their own. No one gonna get extra forward here, but Johnny on 5 is just gonna wait for Geo to give him a little bit of information and then try to pop up and find kill number 6. But Attach will find first blood. That's actually onto Kenny deep over towards top mid window. Johnny sees another opponent, but can't make much use of it, so he'll stay down and still covered. We have a 4v3.
And that objective is still yet to get planted for Optic because they know that they do not have the numbers advantage. When I have everyone with their guns up. In this situation, there's now 45 seconds left. You don't have an opportunity to hit that rotation, but they isolate Johnny. Another cruise missile not going to be earned on the side of Vegas Legion. Now that objective
fucking
has to start
shit, bro.
getting down.
Come on.
Oh, but Geo gunning. Shotzi may have been seen over the top of the bomb site. Yeah, Attach gives that information. A couple of tags are in, but not going to work out. Dashy, oh, good prediction onto Geo. Makes this more manageable, but Dashy's being hunted, and he knows it. Dashy,
let's go.
Oh my goodness,
God.
He gets himself a second.
Let's go, Shotzi.
Shotzi from halfway across the map barely misses a rival 9 shot to put the
Dude, that is fucking insane fucking aim, bro.
The fact that he even gives the notion that Johnny's hiding in that off angle in the first place, and then these shots to Nero to finish off the round. Unbelievable bookends to round number 8.
Yeah, that's great kill to start it off from Shotzi, but that's better comms coming in from Dashy because he gets it done in the communication. He also gets it done with the Renetti and the MCW. Somehow, some way, the King of Clutch is still giving his team opportunities to clutch up on these rounds. Sets up Shotzi to shut down Johnny off earning that cruise, finds a double through the middle of the map. Then once it turns to a one-on-one, Shotzi with great shots out of that rival 9. Able to secure the 3v4 clutch for Optic Texas. Back to the defensive side they go, and finally Vegas Legion a little bit different on their attacking side. Yeah. A whole lot of aggression over towards A. That bomb is already going to get planted, but no, that stun is going to connect from Kenny, and unfortunately he's going to drop.
Yeah, as with to say, these late nades from Vegas through mid have kept this defense for Optic not on the rotation, but Dashy's still alive. That might be enough. Bomb planted, 2v4. Shotzi and Dashy off the regen, working this together from the top side at red. Unsure if there's a lurker still involved. Have to worry about where Attach is at. That's the one that usually likes to stay a little bit more on the rogue side. Smoke down for Nero. Shotzi trying to clear backside office. Slides through, barely makes a footstep. Oh my, Shotzi good inside bottom red. But with Dashy falling, this becomes a bit more unmanageable, and he's just going to try to hop it. Geo, do you get here in time to check? Oh. Sure does. And Vegas will find themselves on series point.
And I thought Optic Texas, they were ready for that push because that bomb was instantly getting planted for Vegas Legion, but a stun is able to connect over the top to slow down that progression. But then Kenny just stuck in that positioning does get picked off, and then you're forcing all the players who love to play defense over at that B site to hit that rotation. But that bomb already gets down for Vegas. They keep themselves in the number advantage. They do not allow Dashy to make a great play off that repinch at red. And now they found themselves at game point.
Oh my goodness. I don't think anyone would have expected this. Let alone no. Went to 5. Johnny tagged with the trophy system largely mitigates some of the damage, and he's going to have now an AR posted up on the bridge staircase looking for players top third. Sees Shotzzy, decent damage, but Shotzzy keeps his life, smokes himself out, but more information gathered as a couple of the fadeaway shots happen from Optic, trying to find the kill on a Johnny.
They're trying to find the kill on a Johnny, but Shotzzy does get picked off. He was popping smokes at his feet, just trying to play his life to the best that he can, but now Optic Texas forced a clutch with another 3v4 scenario. You have Penn, who was the initial island player, over towards red. He gets taken off, and now it's Kenny and Dashy to try to clutch up.
Nero off the cheeky off angle, playing topside bus station. Gets a read that there is a crossover towards the A site. Keeps his life. Help from Geo down low. Optic looking for a plant. That might be their lifeline here. Nades being tossed over towards the A zone. Not a lot of them hitting, but a full surround here. I mean, Optic are fish in a barrel. Dashy, last one left. Optic will drop. Vegas do what seemed to be the impossible. Take down Optic. They take it.